ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you very much for attending the 6th episode of the Īśopaniṣad series, and today's topic is mantra 5 of the Upaniṣad. So we'll go word to word. So you look at this section here, the word to word meanings. So we will read the word to word there, but not with the meanings though, just the individual words. And then after that we will chant the verse here. Tat. So you please repeat after me after each word. I will act like I can hear you. So I will give a gap and then we will go to the next word. Tat. Ejati. Tat. Na. Ejati. Tat. Hi. Dure. We're not talking about meanings, right? So I got myself confused. Dure. Tat. U. Antike. Tat. Antah. Asya. Sarvasya. Tat. U. Sarvasya. Asya. Bahyatah. So we will read line to line now. Tadejati tannaijati. Taddure tadvantike. Okay, this, how to pronounce this? Tadvantike, no. Tadvantike as one word, but actually it is 3 words. Tad, U, Antike. So U plus A becomes V, Va. So Tadvantike. Tadantarasya sarvasya. Tadu sarvasyasya bahyataha. Okay, again. Tadejati tannaijati. Taddure tadvantike. Tadantarasya sarvasya. Tadu sarvasyasya bahyataha. Again. तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः. Okay. Word to word meanings. Tat, this Supreme Lord. Ejati, walks. Tat, he. Na, not. Ejati, walks. Tat, he. Dure, far away. Tat, he. U, also. Antike, very near. Tat, he. Antah, within. Asya, of this. Sarvasya, of all. Tat, he. U, also. Sarvasya, of all. Asya, of this. Bahyatah, external to. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Jaya. Translation: the Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but He is very near as well. He is within everything, and yet He is outside of everything. So let's map the Sanskrit and the English. Tad ejati tan naijati. So tan naijati, you see, he is actually tat na ejati. Tat na ejati. So tat and na. So when it comes together, sandhi becomes tanna. Tanna. But then na plus ejati, a plus a, I, naijati. So tan naijati. It's like together. Tan naijati. So tat ejati. So tat plus ejati becomes tadejati. This also has to be read together as one word, like flow. Tadejati, not tad ejati. Tat, ta, ends with ta, and ejati becomes tadejati, tannaijati. So he walks and he does not walk. So tat means he. Actually, tat here is translated as this Supreme Lord. But tat, the word itself, does not mean Supreme Lord. But because that is the topic we are, that is Isha, Ishavasyam. So we are talking about the Supreme Lord here. So he. So this is the pronoun. It's not the noun. So just like when we are talking about, say, Prabhupāda, and then Prabhupada was born in 1896. He went to school. He met his spiritual master in 1922. So when we say he, it is understood that we are talking about Prabhupada. So like that, so tat means the Supreme Lord. So tat, so many tat here. So all that is referring to him. Tad ejati tan naijati. He walks and he does not walk. So the Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. Ejati means walks. Tad dure tadu antike. Tat u becomes tadu. But that the next word is antike. So u plus a becomes va. U plus a is va. So tadvantike. So tad dure. Dure means far. He is far and he is near as well. Antike. Tad antarasya sarvasya. He is within everything. Sarvasya means of everything, of all. Tad antarasya. Asya means is. Antar means inside. So he is inside all or everything. Because he is in the Paramanu Chayantarastham. Andani Paramanu Chayantarastham. So Brahma Samhita also says this. What is that? Ekopyasau rachayitum jagadanda kotim yachaktirasti jagadanda chayayadantah andantarastham paramanu chayantarastham. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. Anda means this universe is like an anda, like an egg shape. So andantarastham and paramanu chayantarastham. This universe is compared to an egg or a womb, garbha. That's why the ocean in the universal waters. That is called Garbhodakashayi. Garbha means very, very dark. You know, in fact, in the South Indian style of temples, the deity room is called what is that? In Telugu, we call Garbhagudi. Like so, it's inside Garbha, very dark inside inside the deity room, only lighted by the lamps. You know, like that. That's South Indian Dravidian style of architecture and the way temples are built. So, Garbha means very dark, like in the womb. Inside the womb of the mother, it's completely dark, no light inside. So this universe also is like that. It's completely dark. The Brahma Jyoti, the infinite Brahma Jyoti that is coming from Krishna, is completely covered by the shell of the universe, which is so thick that there is no chance of that light passing through. And therefore, inside this universe, the sun is required to illuminate the entire sky. So, tadantarasya sarvasya, he is within everything. Tadu sarvasyasya bahyataha. So, he is outside of everything and he is inside of everything. You see, he is within everything and yet he is outside of everything. So, this is Garbhagriha. Yes. So, this Garbhagriha is where the Lord is situated inside the inner sanctorum of the temple, the deity room. So, similar verse is there in the prayers of the Queen Kunti. So, we have seen this, I think, yesterday or the day before. We will see it again. In the Bhagavatam, it is said, Kunti uvacha namasye purusham tvadyam Ishvaram prakriteha param alaksham sarvabhutanam antarbahiravasthitam. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. Antar Bahir. So, Antar means inside, Bahir means outside. Like, we every time we sing the song Namaste Narsimhaya. Bahir Narsimha, Hridaya Narsimha. So, outside Narsimha, inside my heart is also Narsimha. So, that is true. The Lord is inside and outside of everything. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible. That is the wonderful thing. They say, show me God. But God is everywhere, inside and outside. But He is invisible to all. Again, this all, who is this all? Next verse, she tells even more clearly. Maya javanikachannam agyadhoksha jamavyayam nalakshase moodha drisha nato natyadharo yatha. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. Maya javanika channam. Javanika means a curtain. Achannam means covered. Maya javanika channam. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 25. We will go there. We will come back here. Chapter 7, text 25. You see, he says, Naham prakashah sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mamajamavyayam. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. I am never manifest to the foolish. And that's exactly what Kunti Devi is saying. Moodha drisha, by the foolish observer. Nalakshase moodha drisha. You are not visible to the foolish observer. You see? Covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. When an actor, if he does makeup very nicely and if he is acting so nicely that it is completely different from his actual character, you can't recognize him. You know, you can't recognize him on stage. What is this same? What? Who is he? So that is how Krishna is so expert, that although he is everywhere, but still they cannot see him because he is foolish. He cannot see through. But a devotee, the Lord cannot hide from a devotee. Exactly the opposite. Even the Lord wants to hide. He cannot hide from a pure devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many times, he always projected himself as a devotee. But when Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they saw him, they understood he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when they praised him as Supreme Personality, he, closed his ears and went away from there. So, although he did that, but Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they could recognize. Again, it is not that they did it out of their own whims. Whimsically, they are calling him God. Nowadays, it is happening. Somebody, people are calling him God, and he is a complete cheat, but they are calling him God. And especially in Hindu house, if you see in the altar room, there will be some Baba here, Baba there, everybody equal to God. So it is said that a fool, he will accept an ordinary man as God, and he will take a God as ordinary man. Actually, that is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I need to, let's see if I can find that out. Who is that? I think it's somewhere in the CC. Maybe if you can find out and put in the comments, it will be nice. I think it's this one. No, not this. I'm not able to find. There is a incident. I showed this in the class the other time. Forgot the chapter. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates, they go to this Kaliya, Kaliya Dahan. Actually, it's a fisherman. Wait, let's see. Let's try to find this out. Just give me a second. Okay, here we have it. This is, what is it? CC Madhya, chapter 18. Okay, if we go 104, okay, we will go to the actual index and we can see from there. So this is very important to know because this is a big problem among Hindus. Some Baba will come. Nowadays it's very common, Sai Baba. Both the Sai Babas. None of them are God. But it is accepted by Hindus. Where is the reference, scriptural reference? When Rupa Goswami said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God, he did not whimsically say. He did not whimsically say that he is God. There is so much Shastric reference, but where these Babas are all have Shastric reference? They don't have. You see this? This is what happened. This is a foolish people, You see, this is what happened. 1 second. Okay. So in the afternoon, so this is Chaitanya Leela, this is about 500 years ago. In the afternoon, people were able to speak to him. This is about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord told everyone of the importance of the chanting the holy name. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was preaching the glories of the holy name. During this time, a Vaishnava named Krishnadas came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a householder belonging to the Kshatriya caste and his house was located on the other side of the Yamuna. After bathing at Keshi Tirtha, Krishnadas went toward Kalyadaha and suddenly saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting at Amlital, Tentuli Tala. So, upon seeing the Lord's personal beauty and ecstatic love, Krishnadas was very much astonished. Out of ecstatic love, he offered his respectful obeisances to the Lord. Okay, wait, not this. It's even further. You see this? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually went to Vrindavan. So in Vrindavan, everybody was thinking or saying that, Krishna has come again, because they saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But then, everywhere the Lord went, all the people said, Krishna has again manifested at Vrindavan. One morning, many people came to Akrura Tirtha. As they came from Vrindavan, they made a tumultuous sound. Upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the people offered respects at his lotus feet. The Lord then asked him, where are you all coming from? The people replied, Krishna, I think there is a bit of a lag. Kindly let me know in the comments if there is a bit of lag. In the beginning, I think it was okay, but now there is a little bit of a lag. Okay, anyway, let's continue. But you let me know in the comments. Where are you all coming from? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked. The people replied, Krishna has again manifested himself on the waters of the Kaliya lake. He dances on the hoods of the serpent Kaliya, and the jewels on those hoods are blazing. Everyone has seen Lord Krishna himself. There is no doubt about it. Hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to laugh. He then said, everything is correct. I think in this purport, is it? No, not this. Not this also. For 3 successive nights, people went to Kaliyadaha to see Krishna. This is Kaliyadaha, means the place where Krishna fought with the Kaliya serpent and defeated the snake. So that he went. The people have for 3 days. For 3 successive nights, people went to Kaliyadaha to see Krishna, and everyone returned saying, now we have seen Krishna himself. So they were seeing something, and they were saying, we are seeing Krishna every night there. Krishna is actually coming, and he is dancing on the Kaliya snake there. This is, mind you, 500 years ago. Krishna, Kaliya, the whole pastime happened 5,000 years ago. So everybody was astonished. Oh, Krishna is showing his Leela. Sometimes there are very gullible people who accept these things. So everyone came before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, now we have directly seen Lord Krishna. Thus, by the mercy of the goddess of learning, they were made to speak the truth. That means, they came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then said to him, we have directly seen Krishna. They actually meant that they saw Krishna at that lake. But actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is Krishna. So, we have directly seen Krishna, they said. Actually, they are seeing Krishna directly. So, the Saraswati, the goddess of learning, made them speak the truth. But actually, they were speaking something else, but it became the truth because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was right in front of them. So when the people saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they actually saw Krishna, but because they were following their own imperfect knowledge, they accepted the wrong thing as Krishna. See this is very important. When the people saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, today the screen looks smaller. No, it's the same screen. I never changed. I didn't change it. So okay. You see, when the people saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they actually saw Krishna, but because they were following their own imperfect knowledge, they accepted the wrong thing as Krishna. Now here, I think in this purport, still not this purport, okay. At that time, Balabhadra Bhattacharya placed a request at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, please give me permission to go see Lord Krishna directly. Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who was the one who came with him all the way to Vrindavan, from Jagannath Puri. So because everybody was saying, we have seen Krishna at the Kaliyadaha. So Balabhadra Bhattacharya told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please give me mercy also. He asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please give me mercy so that I also want to see Krishna directly. When Balabhadra Bhattacharya asked to see Krishna at Kaliyadaha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully slapped him, saying, you are a learned scholar, but you have become a fool, being influenced by the statements of other fools. You see this? That means we are supposed to understand who is God and who is not God, and what is cheating and what not just being carried away because all people are saying, oh yeah, it must be truth, no, otherwise how? Just like the Sai Baba, where did he come from? Where, what scripture authorizes him to become a God? Where in the scripture it is said he is God? It is simply their own concoction. And if you tell this to them, they become angry. But that is foolish. A learned scholar, that's why, has become acquainted with the scriptures. Our problem with the Sanatana Dharma, that is known as Hindu Dharma today, is that the problem is that nobody reads the Bhagavad Gita. They accept something which other people told, this person told, oh, I prayed to this Baba and then suddenly my business boomed. So, oh, really, I also want. So these kind of things, they are, the miracles and all, some stupid miracles they will just make up, and then these things they say, oh, this is God. They don't actually see what is. See, like that, even a magician is God, right? He can do miracles far better than all these Babas and all this. He can do, like, what is that? David Copperfield. He made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Is that not wonderful? So it's a magic tricks anybody can do. That is magician. It's not God. So these are not. So these things we have to understand. In fact, what to speak? When Bhaktivinoda Thakur time, there was a tantric. His name was Bishakisen. He was a very demoniac person, but he could cure many people by his power, by his mystic power. He did his own tantric yoga, whatever, and he got mystic powers. And with those powers, he used to cure people of diseases. And everybody, wow, he's a miracle man. He used to cure. And then they took him as God. And they surrendered to him. They gave him so much money, and he enjoyed with so many women and everything. So in this way, cheating is going on. So if we don't consult the scriptures, we will not know who is God and who is not. And here you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reprimanding him, Balabhadra Bhattacharya. When Balabhadra Bhattacharya asked to see Krishna at Kalyadaha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully slapped him, saying, you are a learned scholar, but you have become a fool, being influenced by the statements of other fools. Why would Krishna appear in the age of Kali? Foolish people who are mistaken are simply causing agitation and making a tumult. Do not become mad. Simply sit down here and tomorrow night you will go to Krishna. Now you see. See in the purport, Maya is so strong that even a person like Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who was constantly staying with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was influenced by the words of fools. He wanted to see Krishna directly by going to Kalyadaha, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being the original spiritual master, would not allow his servant to fall into such foolishness. He therefore chastised him, slapping him just to bring him to a real sense of Krishna consciousness. Then you see, why would Krishna appear in the age of Kali? Foolish people who are mistaken are simply causing agitation and making a tumult. I think this is where, this is the purport I wanted to show. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first statement, Krishna kene darshan dibe kali kale. Krishna kene dibe darshan dibe kali kale refers to the scriptures. According to scripture, Krishna appears in Dwapar Yuga, but he never appears as himself in Kali Yuga. Rather, he appears in Kali Yuga in a covered form. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangapangastra Parshadam. Krishna appears in the age of Kali in the garb of a devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who always associates with his internal soldiers, Sangopangastra Parshadam, Sri Advaita Prabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Srivas Prabhu, and Gadadhar Prabhu. Although Balabhadra Bhattacharya was personally serving Lord Krishna in his role as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he mistook Lord Krishna for an ordinary man and an ordinary man for Lord Krishna because he did not follow the rules set down by Shastra and Guru. Now this is important. Yes, so everybody is saying there's a little bit of lag. Well, again, I have no control about this. I have done everything right on my end. I think it's a connection problem. It's a network issue probably. I don't know. I think yesterday, later on during the class, it became all right. But let's see how it goes. So you see, this is an important point. Although Balabhadra Bhattacharya was personally serving Lord Krishna in his role as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he mistook Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for an ordinary man, and an ordinary man for Lord Krishna because he did not follow the rules set down by Shastra and Guru. Now actually what happened? Who is that Krishna that everybody is talking about? Let's go to that now. You see, do not become mad. Simply sit down here and tomorrow night you will go to see Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him like this. The next morning, some respectable gentlemen came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord asked them, have you seen Krishna? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, Ask them. These respectable gentlemen replied, at night in Kalia lake, a fisherman lights a torch in his boat and catches many fish. I don't know if you have seen this. It's quite common in India, the way they do fishing. Actually, many places, but nowadays they have more sophisticated fish farms and all that, whatever. But, I have seen in Kurma Kshetra, the fishermen in the beach, when you go there, it's a very, very big beach. When you go there in the night, in the sundown, at the time they go very, very far, many kilometers into the ocean and catch fish. And each of their boats has light, So, they were thinking that the light is the, gem, some shining gem on the Kaliya snake, and, Krishna is dancing on it. You see how? So, from a distance, people mistakenly think that they are seeing Krishna dancing on the body of the Kaliya serpent. These fools think that the boat is the Kaliya serpent and the torchlight, the jewels on his hoods. People also mistake the fisherman for Krishna. They thought Krishna is the fisherman is Krishna. That means the ordinary person, they are accepting him as God. And God, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is there, and everybody is reporting to him, coming and reporting to him, even including his own servant Balabhadra Bhattacharya, that, we have seen Krishna, we have seen Krishna. Or Balabhadra Bhattacharya wanted to see Krishna. Krishna, they are taking him as ordinary man. Ordinary man, they are taking him as Krishna. See, this is the fault. This is the fault. So, this is what happens. Why? Why it happens? Explained by Prabhupada in the last. Because he did not follow the rules set down by Shastra and Guru. So, we must understand Krishna from Shastra and Guru. From the Guru, we can understand Shastra. And with Shastra, then we can understand God. So, this is the proper process. So, we cannot simply just do our own thing. So, that's why it is said, Shruti Smriti Puranadi. Shruti Smriti Puranadi. You see here, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami is writing, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpataiva Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upaniṣads, Puranas and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. Therefore, in the Bhagavatam, it is explained, Tattvavit Munayo, this verse 1.2.12. Tattvavit Munayo Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya Pashyantyatmani Chatmanam Bhaktya Shrutagrihitaya. The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. In terms of the Vedanta Shruti. So, we have to do devotional service in terms of what is given in the scriptures. If there is no reference to scriptures, it is completely bogus. That's why it is said in Bhagavad Gita 17:15, Prabhupada writes in the purport, you have to always quote from the references. That is why we have the screen here. Why we always are showing the screen? Because if I say something, Tattvavit said like this. Yeah? So, who am I to say something? That's useless. But if we are showing Shastra, then it becomes authentic. So, that's why we have to always quote from the Shastra. That is why Snugopal Prabhu has started this way of giving lectures with a screen there. So that if you don't believe me, you see the screen. The screen will tell you. So, in that way, one is pointed to the actual verse, chapter and verse number, everything, the exact Sanskrit or Bengali or whatever, an exact thing you can see. So, here, austerity of speech consists of speaking words that are truthful, pleasing and beneficial and not agitating to others, and also regularly reciting Vedic literature. Regularly reciting, you see. the process of speaking in spiritual circles is to say something upheld by the scriptures. One should at once quote from the scriptural authority to back up what he is saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussions, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. There is a limitless stock of Vedic literature and one should study this. This is called penance of speech. So similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is saying to Lord Vishnu is saying to Lord Brahma, 2.9.31. He is saying, Śrī Bhagavan Uvacha, Krishna himself is speaking now. Jnanam paramaguhyam me yadvijnana sanvitam sarahasyam tadangam cha grihana gaditam maya. The personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. See, so this is very, very important thing. Otherwise, we will make mistake of who is God and who is not. It's very easy to make the mistakes. Where are we? So this is from the all these references, how God is inconceivable. We cannot simply make our own speculations about Him. Now, so let's go to the purport. Here is a description of some of the Supreme Lord's transcendental activities executed by His inconceivable potencies. The contradictions given here prove the inconceivable potencies of the Lord. He walks and He does not walk. Ordinarily, if someone can walk, it is illogical to say he cannot walk. But in reference to God, such a contradiction simply serves to indicate His inconceivable power. With our limited fund of knowledge, we cannot accommodate such contradictions, and therefore we conceive of the Lord in terms of our limited powers of understanding. That is this world of duality. In this world of duality, if there is one thing, then it cannot be the other thing. If there is the other thing, then it cannot be this thing. So if it is cold, it is not hot. If it is hot, it is not cold. So, like if he walks, he cannot. It is wrong to say that he cannot walk. Therefore, the Lord is also sometimes referred to as Advaitam. That means in Him there is no duality. In Him there is no the good and bad. In Him there is no walking and not walking. In Him there is no seeing and not seeing. He sees and He does not see at the same time. He walks and He does not walk at the same time. You see? So, how it is possible? How can that be possible? That is the meaning of real Advaitam. That everything, all the so-called duality that we see in this world has no contradiction in the Lord. So this is, in this way the Lord is one without a second. In Him there is no two. Like for example, if we show kindness, that is considered good. If we kill, that is considered bad. But when the Lord shows kindness or when He kills, it is the same thing. He gives liberation to the person. You see? There is no difference. There is no difference between His killing and His loving. That is Advaitam. The result is the same. It may look opposites, but there is no opposite in the result. You see? Lebhe dhatri uchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam vrajema. That is explained in the Bhagavatam. See, 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, 23rd verse. 3.2.23. Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam jighamsayapaya yadapyasadhvi lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tatonyam kamvadayalum sharanam vrajema. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than He who granted the position of mother to a she demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So she came with a very vicious intention to kill Krishna by applying poison on her breast and offering her breast to Krishna for him to drink milk. So her plan was, the moment he sucks the poison and he will die. So she came with such a vicious intention. But he killed her. But then he gave her a position of mother. Oh, she offered her breast to me. So I have to give her position of mother in the spiritual world. So this is how Krishna, his killing is also good. That's why the song is there. What is that? Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram, gamanam madhuram, hasitam madhuram. Everything is madhuram, sweet about him. Whether his lips are madhuram and his walking is madhuram, his smiling is madhuram, everything is madhuram. Madhuram means sweet. So that is why the song is there, Madhurashtakam, the song of the sweetness of Krishna. So everything about him is sweet. So when Shukadeva Goswami heard this verse, then he turned from impersonalist to devotee. Then he understood this is real Advaitam. He was into this Advaitam. But then he understood this is Advaitam. That even though his so-called anger, that is also good. And his loving is also good. Everything about him is good. But in reference to God, such a contradiction simply serves to indicate his inconceivable power. With our limited fund of knowledge, we cannot accommodate such contradictions, and therefore we conceive of the Lord in terms of our limited powers of understanding. For example, the impersonalist philosophers of the Mayavad school accept only the Lord's impersonal activities and reject his personal feature. But the members of the Bhagavat school, adopting the perfect conception of the Lord, accept his inconceivable potencies and thus understand that he is both personal and impersonal. The Bhagavatas know that without inconceivable potencies, there can be no meaning to the words Supreme Lord. So we accept Bhagavat school. We are proponents of the Bhagavat school or the devotee Vaishnava school. School of thought, as they say. So we are coming from this Vaishnava training. So our understanding is that Vadanti tat Tattvavidas Tattvam Yajnanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. So we don't say that the Supreme Lord is not impersonal. Yes, impersonalism is also one of his features, but it is not the be all and end all of everything about him. It is partial knowledge about him. As you can see this 1.2.11 Vadanti tat Tattvavidas Tattvam Yajnanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. It is the same absolute truth, but according to the stages of realization, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Just like when there is a fire, in the beginning, you may not see where the fire is, but you see some smoke coming from far away. You see some smoke there. Then you know, hey, there is fire there. So because without fire, there wouldn't be any smoke. So first you would see the smoke. You don't see the real thing yet. You don't see the fire yet. But you know there is fire. If you think that smoke is fire, that is wrong. Yeah, because the smoke is a manifestation of the fire. So it is one of the features of fire, but it is not all. It is not full understanding. When you go closer, then you start to feel not only the smoke, but also you start to feel the heat and some brightness. There's some light. Yes, I think there is fire. And then you even go even further. Oh, there is a big fire going on. So, like here, sometimes we are in Singapore here. I am in Singapore. Most of you maybe are in Singapore. Many of you are from different places as well. So, nearby is Indonesian land across the sea. So, sometimes in Indonesia they burn some forests, and that smoke of that, all that burning comes to Singapore Air, and I think this was about 5 to 6 years ago. It was very bad. The smoke, the haze that was causing, it's like completely, you can't see more than 20 meters, in the distance. You can't see 10 to 20 meters, you can't see. So that is the result of fire somewhere. So in the beginning I wouldn't know. I don't know the fire because I haven't seen. But unless there is a fire, how come this haze came? So similarly, Brahman is the infinite light, the Brahma Jyoti. But light means there is a source of the light. Just like sunlight, it's bright light. But then there is a source. So what is the source of that light? That is Krishna. So, but that they do not know. That's why in the 15th verse of this Īśopaniṣad we will see, in the 15th and 16th verses you will see this. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam pushanna pavrunu satya dharmaya drishtaye. O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. See that prayer. Same Īśopaniṣad, 15th verse. So just like when a bright light is shining on our face, then it's so bright we can't even see where it is coming from and what is it that is causing that light. So dazzling. So Krishna's Brahma Jyoti is so dazzling that we can't see him. He has to uncover that. That's why he's saying, kindly remove that covering of that effulgence, dazzling effulgence, so that I can see your real face. Next verse also, in the 16th verse also, you see what is said. See, Pushanne karshe yamasurya prajapatya vyuharashmin samuha tejo yatte rupam kalyanatamam tatte pashyami yosavasau purushah sohamasmi. This requires a little more explanation, especially the last 3 words, but anyway, we will see it. O my Lord, O primeval philosopher, maintainer of the universe, O regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, well-wisher of the progenitors of mankind, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays so that I can see your form of bliss. In fact, we will read the translation. You are the eternal supreme personality of Godhead, like unto the sun as am I. So the sun, the particles of the sun are bright and the sun itself is also bright. So, as am I, these 3 words are misrepresented by the Mayavadis. Oh, I am also the same, Tattvamasi. But actually no, it doesn't mean that. Because sun has 3 aspects. The sun God, the sun planet and the sunlight. So sunlight is not the same as sun God. Although there is no difference between sun God and sunlight, because with his energy the sunlight is coming. But at the same time, the sunlight is not sun God. So that's why, but at the same time the sunlight is not different from the sun God. So we can understand sunlight and sun planet, but we cannot understand sun God. We can't see him. Like some insects, they only can understand sunlight. They can feel the heat and light, but they don't really know where it is coming from. So they know only sunlight. We humans know the sun globe, we can see sun. But if you become even more demigod, then one can enter into the sun planet and see the sun god. And Krishna said in the 4th chapter, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam. I have spoken to the sun god, the same Bhagavad Gita. Now I am speaking to again Arjuna. So he spoke to the sun god. So there is such a thing called the president of the sun planet. So that person, we cannot understand that now. We can only understand these 2 aspects of the sun planet and the sunlight. And the insects only can understand sunlight. So, like that, according to one stage of realization, one can understand Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. Not all are on the same platform. Not everybody realizes Bhagavan. Some Brahmeti. That's why they swear upon Brahman. Yes, Brahman is the real thing. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. But real Brahma, that's why there are 2 words, Brahma and Parabrahma. param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam vibhum. So Arjuna is clarifying, param brahma, you are parabrahma, Krishna, you are parabrahma. And he said, not only I am saying, ahus samrishaya sarve devarshir naradastatha asito devalo vyasa swayam chaiva bravishime. You yourself are saying, Krishna, not just I am saying because I am your friend, I am flattering you. No. What all rishis, they accept this. And headed by Narmuni, Asita, Devala, Vyasadev, and Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Now you yourself have declared that to me. So this is confirmed by all the authorities. That's how we should accept God. Not simply because somebody said he is God, write his own book of his own biography. Where? This is Vedic book or what? Vedic literature? Who wrote? Vyasadev wrote. Who wrote this? Is he coming in what parampara? Where is his Vaishnava parampara? So we have to, that's why we have to always, there is check and balance, how to, ascertain whether this is fake news or, real news. And if you see, we'll go back to this verse, you see Purusha, Rupam Kalyanatamam. You see that? Rupam Kalyanatamam. Rupam means form. Kalyanatamam means most auspicious. Kalyana means auspicious. Tamam means superlative degree, most auspicious form. This is called Nirakar, or Nirakar means the topmost form. Saumya Rupam, and that is also explained in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, if you go, 1150, after showing the whole universal form, the Virat Rup, which is very, very fearful, fearsome, caused so much fear to Arjuna by seeing all that ghastly form, Everything was very, was striking fear into Arjuna's heart. So Arjuna requested Krishna to show him his four-handed form. So then here you see, Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed him his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. Saumya Vapur Mahatma. Saumya Vapur means the beautiful form. See that? Then again, in the next verse, you see Arjuna Uvacha. When he saw that beautiful first four-handed form and then the two-armed form of Krishna, then he said, Drishtvedam manusham rupam tava saumyam janardana idanim asmi samvrittah sachetaha prakritim gatah. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, you see the words here, Saumyam. Drishtvedam manusham rupam tava saumyam janardana. Rupam, form. What form? The human-like form. It is not that he became a human. If he was a human, how could he show the Virat Rupa, the universal form? That means he is not ordinary human, looking like ordinary human. Manushim tanumashritam. So we will go to that verse. Now you see, manusham rupam tava saumyam janardana. Saumyam means very, very beautiful. See that? So in the purport, you see, let's read the translation. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature. His fear was all subsided completely after seeing the beautiful form of Krishna. Until then he was seeing this ghastly form of the Virat Rupa, where everything, he possessed thousands of faces, thousands of eyes, and bright as the millions of suns, and in the teeth, within the teeth, everybody was just entering into the mouth and everybody was being crushed at the teeth, and it was all a ghastly scene. So, but now, when he showed his original form, then he was composed and restored to the original nature. Then here, is this the one? I think it's in the before verse here. You see, the word Saumya Vapuhu, the word Saumya Vapuhu is very significant. It is a very beautiful. Saumya Vapuhu is a very beautiful form. Huh? When he was present, everyone was attracted simply by Krishna's form, and because Krishna is the director of the universe, he just banished the fear of Arjuna, his devotee, and showed him again his beautiful form. In the Brahma Samhita it is stated, only a person whose eyes are smeared with ointment of love can see the beautiful form of Sri Krishna. You see, it is known as the most beautiful form. That is what I wanted to show. You see, Saumya Vapuhu, it is most beautiful form. So this is the real Bhagavan feature of Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti. So that is the real feature of the Lord. Oh yeah, I wanted to show this. So whenever Krishna comes in this human-like form, it is said here, chapter 9, text 11 of Gita, Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be. See, fools deride me. Avajananti mam mudha. Mudha means fool. Manushim tanumashritam. So that's why it's very important to know all these things. So the Bhagavatas, the devotees, we accept, yes, impersonal feature is also a feature of the Lord. Personal feature is also a feature of the Lord. But if you get stuck with the impersonal feature, you're not going to go very far. So therefore, and also, you can establish a relationship with something impersonal. How can you just love air? I mean, you can't love something impersonal. You cannot love light. The love is between two persons. It has to be a person. Bhakti can be only to a person, the supreme person, Krishna. When we talk about love, there is the lover and the beloved, and the exchange between these two persons is love. So the lover, the devotee, and the beloved is Krishna, and the exchange between them is bhakti. So bhakti cannot happen with something impersonal. We should not take it for granted that because we cannot see God with our eyes, the Lord has no personal existence. Śrī Īśopaniṣad refutes this argument by declaring that the Lord is far away but very near also. We cannot see the Lord. So for us, the Lord is appearing to be very far away, somewhere in the Vaikuntha planet, somewhere in the Golok Vrindavan. We can't even see Him anywhere. Although we have heard, but we cannot see Him everywhere. And especially for those who haven't heard of it at all, they're not even sure whether God is even there or not. They're not sure. For them, God is very, 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 very far away. Very far away. From their minds, from their vision, He's very far away. At the same time, He's in their heart, just right next to them. Right next to them. Ishvara, what is that? Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridesha arjuna tishtati. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagno anishaya muhyamanaha. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhira. From the Upaniṣads, this is explained. Shvetashvatara Upanishad and Mundaka Upanishad confirm this. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagno nishi anishaya shochati muhyamanaha jushtam yada pashyati manyamisham asya mahimanam iti vita shokaha. See, although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruits of the tree. But if in some way or other he turns his face to his friend, who is the Lord, and who knows his glories, But if in some way or other he turns his face to his friend who is the Lord and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxieties. So, the Supreme Lord and the individual soul is situated within the heart of the body. So, it is like on the same tree, on the same branch, the two birds are sitting. One bird is just busy eating the fruits of the tree. That means eating the fruits of one's karma, that we are. The other bird is just looking at him. If somehow or other he turns his attention to the face of his friend, his other bird, then all his suffering becomes and anxieties become vanquished. Free from all anxieties. Dushtam yada pashyati anyam Isham, you see, the Supreme Lord. The other bird is actually the Supreme Lord. Asya mahimanam iti viti shoka. See? So this is explained in the Upaniṣads. It is very important, therefore, that we turn our attention to the Supreme Lord and not just trying to enjoy in this material world like the foolish bird which is trying to enjoy the fruit of the tree. So we should not take it for granted that because we cannot see God with our eyes, the Lord has no personal existence. Like for example, Prabhupada mentioned in another way, when there is milk, now it can be made into a nice sweet, maybe rabdi, nice sweet. Now, in the form of milk, or say curd also for that matter, so in the form of milk, there is you can't see curd there. But through a process, we can actually see curd. We can actually see that rabdi, sweet. But there is a process, there is a recipe. So similarly, we don't see the Lord now. That does not mean the Lord is not there. So if we follow the process given by the Acharya, the 10.2.31, the Acharyas, they leave this method by which they cross. And if we take up that method given by the Acharya, then we can actually see the Lord. Even through the material forms. That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Sthavar jangam dekhe na dekhe tar murti, sarvatra hoy nija ishtadeva spurti. A pure devotee, Sthavar jangam, whatever he sees, whether moving or non-moving, he sees their forms, but he actually sees the Supreme Lord everywhere. He doesn't really see their forms. He sees the Supreme Lord everywhere. Just like Prahlad Maharaj. Śrī Īśopaniṣad refutes this argument by declaring that the Lord is far away but very near also. The abode of the Lord is beyond the material sky and we have no means to measure even this material sky. You see that? The abode of the Lord is beyond the material sky and we have no means to measure even this material sky. If the material sky extends so far, then what to speak of the spiritual sky, which is altogether beyond it? So how far the Lord is, you see? So he cannot be, in the yesterday's verse we have read, Anejadekam manasojaviyo nainam deva apnuvan purvamarshad nainad deva apnuvan purvamarshad. So even the Tattvavit atyeti tishtad tasmin napo matarishva dadhati. So how fast, even at the speed of the mind, you can't catch him, is so far. Even at the light years, light is slower than mind. Mind years, even at the speed of mind, if you go for millions of years, not light years, but mind years away, he's so far away. So how can we reach him? But Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhakta. Oh, for the devotee, he is so near. Like, we have deity worship. Devotees are dressing the Lord. So near, every day it is like a routine thing. They are offering the food to Lord and dressing him and they are chanting his name. When you are chanting Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna is already dancing on the tongue. He is right on the tongue. He is dancing. When we are saying his name, because abhinnatvan namanamino, this is Advaitam. That there is no difference between his name and him and his name. Abhinnatvan namanamino. Whereas we have a name, but we, the person, and the name is two different things. If somebody chants my name, from somewhere, I am not there. But when we chant Krishna, Krishna is already there. That is the beauty. That is the beauty of Krishna. That is the real meaning of Advaitam. Shuddha Advaitam, pure oneness. One of the four sampradayas, I think it's Nimbarkacharya or Vishnu Swami. Their philosophy is Shuddha Advaitam, pure oneness. This is pure oneness. That in him all the so-called dualism exists without contradiction and without fault, in complete harmony. That is real Advaitam. So, the Lord is far away and yet so near. He is very accessible. If you just chant Krishna's name, He is there with us. He is so accessible. But for devotees, the non-devotees, for them, we don't know whether God is there or not. So far away for them. Same Lord. So the spiritual sky is so far away that the spiritual sky is far, far away from the material universe is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, text 6. But despite the Lord's being so far away, He can at once, within less than a second, descend before us with a speed swifter than that of the mind or wind. When we call upon the Lord, He is immediately there on the tongue. From so far, from not even millions, we can't even say any number. That far He is, Vaikuntha is so far. But from there He comes in a moment. When we say Krishna, immediately He is there. Within less than a second. So this is, that's how fast He walks. Tadejati, tannaijati. But even though He walks and He comes on our tongue, it is not that He is no more in the Vaikuntha Loka or in the Goloka Vrindavan. He is still there. Therefore, tad naijati. He does not walk. Nobody misses Him in the Goloka Vrindavan. It is not that we are chanting His name, His name, and then He is coming here, and then He is no more there. Everybody there is missing Krishna, and He is now here. No. He is there. Tadejati, tannaijati. But He comes here also. Tadejati. This is Krishna. At the same time, everybody is praying to the Lord. There is somebody chanting Hare Krishna here, somebody chanting in the next other side of the globe, somebody in another room, other city. Everywhere Krishna is there. Just like Krishna is there, was there in Dwarka, in every single palace. 16,108 queens, and all of them had separate palaces, because you put them in one palace. It's not. How big the whole family is. The family. 10 sons from each queen and 1 daughter. So 11 children from each queen. So just imagine 160,000 of them. And then they had their own children, 10. Each of them had 10 children. Millions. His family went into the millions. When he was at the battlefield of Kurukshetra, his family was in the millions. That many palaces he was having, and with each queen he was there, in each palace. And in each palace he was doing different things, and everybody was thinking, every queen was thinking he is with her only. And even in Rasa dance, Rasalila, he was dancing in so many forms, and millions of girls were there, gopis, and he was dancing with all of them, and every gopi was thinking, Krishna is only with me. This is Krishna. Tadejati tannaijati. 15.6. What is 15.6? Na tadbhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. So far away. Another verse is also there in the 8th chapter, 20th verse. Parastasmat tu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanah yah sa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is beyond this material nature. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. That is the spiritual world. So he is giving hints about the spiritual world so far away. So all that far away, but he moves at at a speed which is inconceivable for anybody. You see, but despite the Lord's being so far away, He can at once, within less than a second, descend before us with the speed swifter than that of the mind or wind. He can also run so swiftly that no one can surpass Him. This has already been described in the previous verse. Yet, when the personality of Godhead comes before us, we neglect Him. This is our misfortune. He is running so fast and coming to us when we are calling Him, but still we neglect Him. Such foolish negligence is condemned by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita, where He says that the foolish deride Him, considering Him a mortal being. Exactly what we have similar verses in Mukundamala Stotra, very nicely. Shrīnath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Bhakta Priya Chakrapane Shri Padmanabha Achyuta Kaita Bhare Shri Rama Padmaksha Hare Murare Ananta Vaikuntha Mukunda Krishna Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Vaktum Samartho Pinavakti Kaschid Aho Jananam Vyasanabhimukhyam. See this, King Kulashekar is saying, O Srinath, Narayan, Vasudeva, Krishna, the friend of the devotees, and that means, Bhakta Priya, kind friend of your devotees. O Chakrapani, Padmanabha, Achyuta, Kaitabhari, Rama, Padmaksha, Hari, Murari, Ananta, Vaikuntha, Mukunda, Krishna, Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. Although all people can address you, by chanting these names, still they remain silent. Just see how eager they are for their own peril. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Nam Namakari Bahudha Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha. What is that? Forgot. Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisha Mihajani Nanuragaha. Durdaivam. This is our misfortune. See, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us how, my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your holy name there is all good fortune for the living entity, and therefore you have many names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you expand yourself. You have invested all your potencies in those names, and there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. My dear Lord, although you bestow such mercy upon the fallen conditioned souls by liberally teaching your holy names, I am so unfortunate that I commit offenses while chanting the holy name, and therefore I do not achieve attachment for chanting. Durdaivam idrisha mihajani nanuragaha. Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi. You have shown such great mercy, still Durdaivam, my misfortune, that I don't have attraction for chanting. I don't like to chant. This is all is our misfortune. The Lord is so accessible, but still we don't want to access Him and say the Lord is not there. When the Lord is running so fast to us when we are calling Him. Ajamil was completely, gone, completely sinful. But then when he chanted the name Narayana, he actually meant his son. But then when he chanted Narayana, he remembered the Narayana. And immediately the Narayana's Dutas, the Narayana Duta, Vishnu Dutas, they came down immediately. Stop the Yamadutas. No. You cannot take him to Yamaraj. Why? He has committed every sin you can think of. No. But he has chanted the name of Narayana. And that has absolved all of his sins. So however sinful one may be, if one chants Krishna's name, he becomes sinless. So there are other verses also. in the Mukundamala Stotra. Ascharyametadhi manushya-loke sudham parityajya visham pibanti namani narayana gocharani tyaktvanyavachah kuhakah pathanti. The greatest wonder in human society is this. People are so incorrigible that they reject the life-giving nectar of Lord Narayan's names and instead drink poison by speaking everything else. And Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami says the same thing. 2.1.2 Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nirnam Santi Sahasrashah Apashyatam Atmatattvam. What is that? Griheshu Grihamedhinam. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of the ultimate truth, leave many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor. Actually, it is have, I think, not leave, have. Yeah. So have many subject matters for hearing in human society. So many. So here this Kulashekar Alvar, he's saying, Tyaktvanyavacha kuhaka pathanti. Instead of chanting the life-giving nectar of Lord Narayan's names, they are drinking poison by speaking everything else. Another very nice verse in the same. So many nice verses about holy name here. 47th verse in the Mukundamala Stotra. Shriman prochya narayanakyam kena prapurvan chitam papinopi hanah purvam vak pravrittana tasmim tena praptam garbhavasadi dukkham. What person, even if most sinful, has ever said aloud the blessed name Narayana and failed to fulfill his desires? See that? What person, even if most sinful, has ever said aloud the blessed name Narayana and failed to fulfill his desires? Never. Even the worst sinner can fulfill all his desires just by chanting. We have the example of Mrigari, the hunter, and Ajamil. But we, alas, never used our power of speech in that way, and so we had to suffer such miseries as living in a womb. That means in our previous lives, we didn't chant. We did not use our power of speech in that way, and so we had to suffer such miseries as living in a womb. That means we have lived in the womb because we have not chanted. And if we don't chant now, we will again have to go through the trouble of, lying down in the womb of a mother. Actually, there is a nice verse by Shankaracharya. What is that? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha samsare bahudustare, kripaya pare pahi murare. So, this beautiful verse. He is saying that punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. So, repeated janma and repeated marana, death, repeated birth and repeated death. Punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Again we have to sleep in the womb of a mother. That sleep is not very peaceful sleep. Now how painful that sleep is. That whole 3rd canto, 31st chapter you can read. What kind of pain the child goes through in the womb of the mother. So this is a miserable condition. That's why birth is so miserable. One of the chief miseries of materialistic life is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. We only see the mother's suffering, that she is bearing the child and then the labor of childbirth is very painful. But for the child it is even more painful. Unbearable pain he suffers for 9 months. 9 months is suffering continuously, although he is lying within the womb. So, iha samsare bahudustare. So, Shankaracharya is saying, iha samsara, this is the world of samsara, the cycle of birth and death. Bahudustare, very, very difficult to get out of this. Kripaya pare pahe murare. But you, Murari, he is calling out Krishna, the enemy of the Mura demon. So this cycle of birth and death, this Maya is like a demon. So Mura, demon, so Murari, he called him Murari, the killer of the demon. So please kill this cycle of birth and death for me. Kripaya pare, apara, kripaya apara. That means, apara means unlimited, unlimitedly merciful Supreme Lord. Murari, please, pahi, save me from this, protect me from this. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jathare shayanam. So this is the, so therefore this verse is there. What is that? This verse 47. Sriman nama procha narayanakyam kena prapurvanchitam papinopi. Who has ever chanted aloud the blessed name Narayana and failed to fulfill his desires? Never. It has happened. So, but because we did not use our power of speech in that way, we had to suffer. Therefore, in the 51st verse, it is said, Alam alam alameka praninam patakanam nirasana vishayeya Krishna Krishneti Vani. Then the next two lines you see, Yadi bhavati mukunde bhaktirananda sandra karatala kalitasa moksha samrajya lakshmi. See, by themselves the word Krishna Krishna are sufficient to drive away the sins of all living beings. That much powerful, just by the names, just chanting Krishna Krishna, sufficient. Anyone who possesses devotion for Lord Mukunda, that is densely imbued, Ananda Sandra, densely imbued with ecstasy, holds in the palms of his hands the gifts of liberation, worldly influence and wealth. The dharma, artha, kama, moksha that people want. They are in the, as they say in Hindi, muthi mein, in the hands of the person who is devotee. It is within his, like in his pocket, So, like that, the devotee, who chants, that is so powerful, the holy name. That's why it is said, we have seen these verses about the holy name. So many holy verses on the holy name. This is Om Namo Narayanaya. This is also about the holy name. Narayanaya nama ityamumeva mantram samsara ghora vishanirharanaya nityam shrinmandu bhavyamatayo yatayo nuragad uchchaistaramupadishamya hamurdhva bahu. Raising my arms, I utter this compassionate advice as loudly as I can. If those in the renounced order want to be delivered from the terrible poisonous condition of material life, they should have the good sense to constantly hear the mantra Om Namo Narayanaya. In our case, Hare Krishna mantra. You see, Satyam Bravemi Manujaha Swayamurdhva Baho. Oh, this is the other meter. Satyam Bravemi Manujaha Swayamurdhva Bahur Yo Yo Mukunda Narasimha Janardaneti Jivo Japatyanudinam Marane Raneva Pashana Kashtha Sadrishaya Dadatya Bhishtam. O mankind, with arms raised high, I declare the truth. Any mortal who chants the names Mukunda, Narasimha and Janardana day after day, even in battle or when facing death, will come to regard his most cherished ambitions as no more valuable than a stone or a block of wood. Actually, there are so many verses in Mukundamala itself on the holy name. So anyway, you get the point. So this is the thing. The holy name, we must, Now, here he is explaining more things. See Prabhupada how he is explaining. Yet when we have missed out one verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. 43. Kalauna Rajan Jagatam Param Gurum Trilokanathanata Pada Pankajam Prayena Martya Bhagavantam Achyutam Yakshanti Pashanda Vibhinna Chetasaha. O King, in the age of Kali, people's intelligence will be diverted by atheism, and they will almost never offer sacrifice to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Spiritual Master of the universe. Although the great personalities who control the three worlds all bow down to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, the petty and miserable human beings of this age will not do so. So such foolish negligence is condemned by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita, where he says that the foolish deride him, considering him a mortal being. He is not a mortal being, nor does he come before us with a body produced of material nature. There are so many so-called scholars who contend that the Lord descends in a body made of matter, just like an ordinary living being. Not knowing his inconceivable power, such foolish men place the Lord on an equal level with ordinary men. This is why they are called Mayavadis, because they think when the Lord comes into this material world, he accepts a body made of this Maya, this material energy. So that's why they are called Mayavadis. Their philosophy is based on Maya, on illusion. They are illusioned about the position of the Lord. So now, such foolish men place the Lord on an equal level with ordinary men. Because he is full of inconceivable potencies, God can accept our service through any sort of medium. And he can convert his different potencies according to his own will. Try to understand this. Because he is full of inconceivable potencies, God can accept our service through any sort of medium. And he can convert his different potencies according to his own will. Non-believers argue either that the Lord cannot incarnate himself at all, or that if he does, he descends in a form of material energy. These arguments are nullified if we accept the existence of the Lord's inconceivable potencies. Then we will understand that even if the Lord appears before us in the form of material energy, it is quite possible for him to convert this energy into spiritual energy. Since the source of that means he can, even if somebody says that okay, he comes with a material form, even then there is no contradiction, because he can change that material form into spiritual form. He can change matter into spirit. Now he explains. Since the source of the energies is one and the same, material or spiritual energy, the source is Krishna. So he is the source of both material and spiritual energies. So since the source of the energies is one and the same, the energies can be utilized according to the will of their source. For example, the Lord can appear in the form of the Archa Vigraha, a deity supposedly made of earth, stone or wood. Deity forms, although engraved from wood, stone or other matter, are not idols, as the iconoclasts contend. This is not idol worship. See? And this is not idol worship. This is Krishna himself. Even if it is, material form or like stone, block, or wood or paint sometimes. Actually, there is a nice verse about the 8 kinds of deities. Śrīla, Darumayi, Lauhi. (11, 27, 12). Śrīla, Darumayi, Lauhi, Lepya, Lekhya cha Saikati, Manomayi, Manimayi, Pratimashta Vidha Smrita. The deity form of the Lord is said to appear in 8 varieties: stone, wood, metal, earth, paint, sand, and the mind or jewels. So in the mind also Manasa Puja it is said. So if one does not have all the paraphernalia for deity worship, if he is very very poor, then he can do Manasa Puja. That story is there of the South Indian Brahman, who was, meditating that he was bringing all the pots of water in golden pots. He was meditating like this, that he was bringing the holy water from all the holy rivers in golden pots and doing abhishek for the Lord. And then he dressed him, and then he cooked for him, and then he cooked some sweet rice. Then he wanted to check if the sweet rice is hot or not before offering to the Lord. So he touched the sweet rice, then his finger burnt. Then his meditation broke. Then he saw his finger was actually burnt. Then the Lord Narayana and the Vaikuntha, he saw all this, then he was laughing, and then with a smile, he went down and picked the Brahmana up and went back to Vaikuntha. So, even though he was doing in the Manas Puja, in his mind, but it really burnt his finger. So there is no difference between such Manas Puja and real deity worship. But we can't be lazy and say, yeah, this is good actually, I'll do Manas Puja, I'm doing Manas Puja, Prabhu. First of all, our mind is so chanchal. We can't even focus on the Lord. He was focusing on every single detail of how he was serving the Lord. We have no such, come on. So we cannot do this kind of things without being so advanced. He is a pure devotee, that Brahmana. That's why the Lord personally came down. When that finger burned, the Lord personally came down and took him back. What we are doing, the Lord will come and take us back. So we cannot imitate and be lazy. He was not lazy, he was so poor that he cannot afford anything. But he wanted to do some grand deity worship for the Lord. So in this way he was imagining and he was in that meditation. And not just for like a few minutes, for hours he was meditating like that. Every detail he was meditating on. How how he was dressing and how he was cooking. He was cooking so many items, and each of the item that he was putting, all the ingredients, he was cutting everything in the mind he was doing with great detail, not skipping any steps. So we can't do these things, but there is such a thing. In advanced process, it can be done in advanced stages. So that's why this in Kali Yuga, because we are so fallen, we cannot even focus on the form of the Lord properly. Forget about serving Him. That's why chanting is there. That's why that verse, Agachit Smaranam Vishnor. Agachit Smaranam Vishnor Bahva Yasena Sadhyate. See Vaishnav Chintamani. Agachit Smaranam Vishnor Bahva Yasena Sadhyate Oshta Spandana Matrena Kirtanam tu tato varam. Although capable of destroying all sins, the remembrance of Lord Vishnu is achieved only with extraordinary effort. On the other hand, one may perform Krishna Kirtan simply by moving one's lips, and thus this process is superior. Krishna has become so accessible by just vibrating our lips, which we always anyway like to do, speak nonsense otherwise. We always want to vibrate our lips. Do that by chanting, and that's it. He has become that accessible in Kali Yuga, so we have to take to him. For example, the Lord can appear in the form of the Archa Vigraha, a deity supposedly made of earth, stone or wood. Deity forms, although engraved from wood, stone or other matter, are not idols as the iconoclasts contend. Iconoclasts are those who say that this is all idol worship. But that's not a fact. It's directly Krishna worship. Because Krishna, out of his mercy, because we cannot see him, we cannot serve him in his spiritual form, he has come and accepted a form which we can serve him. Like he has come in the form of his name so that we can chant his name. He can come in the form of deity so that we can do deity worship. We can dress him. The Virat Rupa, how we can dress him? All the cloth in the world will be finished. Cannot even dress him. So, in order that we can serve him, so he comes in a form in which we can serve him, we can offer him food, so many services. Arrange big festivals, Rath Yatra. This year we don't have it because of the coronavirus. But all these festivals, is for his pleasure, and everybody comes and everybody gets in touch with the Lord. They chant his name, they eat prasadam, and they become purified, and they buy some books. In this way, they become more and more spiritually advanced just by the deity. In our present state of imperfect material existence, we cannot see the Supreme Lord due to imperfect vision. Yet, those devotees who want to see him by means of material vision are favored by the Lord who appears in a so-called material form to accept his devotees' service. One should not think that such devotees who are in the lowest stage of devotional service, that means the Kanishta Adhikaris, especially for the third class devotees, very essential deity worship. One should not think that such devotees who are in the lowest stage of devotional service are worshipping an idol. They are factually worshipping the Lord who has agreed to appear before them in an approachable way. Nor is the Archa form fashioned according to the whims of the worshipper. The form of Krishna is not some whimsical form. It is the form that is explained in the Shastras. Shyamam tribhanga lalitam niyata prakasham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Shyamam tribhanga lalitam, the threefold bending form of Shyam Sundar. That is what, this Krishna's deity is. He has a threefold bending form, and he was, blowing on the flute. Venum Gvanantam Aravinda Dalayataaksham. So the peacock feather, the flute, everything is already mentioned in the Shastras. So it's not a whimsical form which they created. This form is eternally existent with all paraphernalia. This can be actually felt by a sincere devotee, but not by an atheist. A sincere devotee, he can feel the Lord. Whereas an atheist, how much ever you try to convince him, he will never feel the Lord. Even if the Lord directly comes in front of him, he cannot see him. He does not accept. So that is misfortune of the atheist. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.11, the Lord says that how he treats his devotee depends on the devotee's degree of surrender. According to how much surrender, ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. The Lord reserves the right not to reveal himself to anyone and everyone, but to show himself only to those souls who surrender unto him. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So he gives the intelligence and he manifests in front of those who are satati yuktanam, who are always engaged in serving him. You may ask, how can I serve someone when I can't see him? And you say, I must serve him to see him. But unless I see him, how can I serve him? That's why. The thing is, it is not that we, our demand of seeing him, will, and then we can serve. So it is not that we call the shots. We should understand that. We are nobody here. We are an absolute servant. We are absolutely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. So he calls the shots. You first get into the attitude of service, then I will manifest. You don't ask me to manifest myself and then you will serve. No, I will not do it. Because actually they won't. Atheists, even Krishna comes in front of them, they will not surrender. They can't see the Lord. Antar Bahiravastitam, he is everywhere. But Hiranyakashipu could not see, Prahlad could see. How? Because of their devotion and the lack of devotion. Hiranyakashipu did not have any devotion. Prahlad had devotion. So he could see. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. The devotees can always see the Lord. Wow, how? Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. Bhakti vilochana. The eyes anointed with the salve of love, ointment of love. So without love we cannot see him. Therefore that story I told before, that Brahmananda or Gargamuni, one of the two brothers, the disciples of Prabhupāda. So he, in the beginning, when he was becoming devotee, he wanted to, everybody was bowing down, and for him, it is like, oh, this is like some cult, you are bowing down to a person. Actually, one must bow down to a spiritual master. So in the beginning, for the Westerners, it was very difficult to accept this bowing down business. What is this? Wow, bowing down. Everybody is bowing down to him. This is like a cult. They get all these thoughts. So some of them, and because of their huge ego, they are not used to the bowing down anywhere in their life. Never. At least Hindu knows that bowing down is something you have to do for sadhus, or in the temple you have to bow down. But they never heard of these things. So, what is this? So he did not like to bow down, especially. Others, with hard struggle in their mind, somehow or other they started bowing down. And anyway, they got the explanation also from Prabhupada that one must, bow down to the spiritual master. Actually, who started this Achyutananda or Kirtananda? They went to India and then they saw the culture, how sadhus are respected and how one must bow down in the front of the Lord. And then they came back and then, he started bowing down to Prabhupada. Then that's how everybody also saw this and then started doing it. And some of them were skeptical. Whoa, what is this? So, so this Gargamuni, Gargamuni Prabhu or Brahmananda, one of them. So they did not want to bow down. He did not want to bow down. So then he asked Prabhupada. His reasoning was, why should I bow down when I don't feel like bowing down? I want to feel it. I want to feel that feeling, then I will bow down. If I feel like, this is, I have to have that much of reverence, if I have that feeling of reverence, then I will automatically bow down. But if I have no feeling, why should I bow down? So he asked Prabhupada, should I bow down even, when I don't feel like it? How can I bow down when I don't feel it? Then Prabhupada said, you bow down and then you will feel it. So it is the other way around. Always we want to call the shots. We want to be convinced first. And then we want to surrender. Yes, of course, to the point, the Shastra is there. Just like we can't, whimsically accept anybody. We should check, yes, but check with what? Shastra. Not with our mind. Nowadays it is a common thing. Oh, that doesn't resonate with me, they say. Or that resonates with me, yes. So if something resonates with their mind, with their thought process, then this is right. I feel this is right. And if something doesn't resonate with their thought, I don't feel, this is very correct. So the way they judge things is by their mind, as if their mind is the perfect source of knowledge and reference. What is the point whether it resonates with you or not? For a man in a mode of ignorance, beer resonates with him. Partying resonates with him. But that doesn't mean that is right. It is not that there is right for everybody, it is their own right. No. There is only one right and one wrong. That is what the opinion of the Lord, not our opinion. Whatever is in the mind of the Lord, that is dharma. And that he will speak, and that is dharma. So right and wrong is based on his words. So his words have been Vedo Narayana Sakshat. So Veda is the very, very words of the Narayana, Krishna himself. Vedaischa sarve rahameva vedyo Vedanta krit Veda videva chaham. I am the compiler of Vedanta. So it is Krishna's words. So from his words we have to understand what is correct and what is not, what resonates with our mind. Our mind is in the mode of ignorance and passion. We will resonate with imperfect things also. So how do we know that something is perfect or imperfect? Just like when we hear some kind of, especially many women have this problem when they read Prabhupada's books, when they are not submissive. Instead of coming out of the bodily concept, when they hear this, oh, women are less intelligent. When they hear this, oh, what is this? How can you say like this? This doesn't sound right. But that is what the Shastra says. The woman's body is created like that by the Lord, and it's not that men has to have, should be proud of more intelligent. It's not that at all. It's just how Krishna has created everything. It's just a factual thing. But people get into this emotional trips. How you can say this is what is that called? Male chauvinism, or all these things, all kind of words they put. But it is not. All this chauvinism or sexism and all these things are based on opinions of people. Okay, this is not opinion. This is what the Shastras say. Krishna said it, so it is that way. That's it. We just accept. And Kunti Devi herself is also saying, Tatha Paramahamsanam Muni Namamalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katham Pashyemahi Striyaha. How can we women understand you who are not even understood by the great Paramahamsas, sages? So, but she is actually more than the sages because she is a devotee. So that humility, just like even Prahlad Maharaj, he said what? What did he say? You see what he said. We have read this when we were reading the Narsimha Leela. How humbly he prayed to the Lord. You see, he is so empowered that the Lord came for him in such an unprecedented form and killed Hiranyakashipu, and the Lord Brahma and Shiva were afraid of him. Such a great form of the Lord came for purpose of Prahlad. But you see how Prahlad is thinking. Whether man or woman, one must be always humble. And if the body is created like that, it is like that. That's it. It's a fact. It's just Krishna is saying the fact. So if we are in the, it's like Prabhupada was once asked by a woman devotee. She was just beginning in her devotional service, and she read all these things, that women less intelligent. She knew Prabhupada also said this many times. Then she went to Prabhupada and said, can a woman not become a devotee? Can a woman not advance in spiritual life? She asked Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, as long as you think you are a woman, where is the question of any advancement? Okay. Since I understood. So we have to come out of the bodily concept. But we should understand that woman's body is limited like that. So if the Shastra says something, even if it doesn't resonate with us, or if it doesn't feel right because we have heard women's liberation, women are equal, men are equal, everything is equal, we're all one. Because we have been fed with that, something doesn't resonate with us. And when we say moon landing is a hoax, that doesn't sound right. Why it doesn't sound right? Because you were fed one thing all your life, and therefore now you hear this other thing. This is something different. So this resonation is nonsense. Resonation is complete nonsense. We have to see what the Shastra is saying. You see how Prahlad Maharaj, he is a boy, right? But still he said, you see, Śrī Prahlad Uvacha Brahmadaya Suragana Munayotha Siddhaha Sattvaikatana Gatayo Vachasam Pravahaihi Naradhitum Bhurugunair Adhunapi Pipruhu Kim Toshtumarhati Same Ugrajate. You see, Prahlad Maharaj prayed, how is it possible for me, who have been born in a family of asuras? See, I'm born in a family of demons. How is it possible for me to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and all the saintly persons could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words, although such persons are very qualified, being in the mode of goodness. Then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified. So this is humility. You should always think, yes, I am not qualified, I am less intelligent, I am the most fool. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said, Guru more murkho dekhi, karilo sashan. My Guru Ishwarpuri saw that I was a great fool. Guru more murkho dekhi. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, I am a fool. And these women, they want to become, no, how can you say we are less intelligent? We should always think we are less intelligent anyway, right? But even factually, the woman's body is like that. But so when the Shastras say something like that, it is not to put down the woman or try to abuse them. That's not even the reason there. It is just that where things can go wrong. And that's why Arjuna was so concerned. If the men in this battle, they die, and so many women are dependent on these men, and they will be polluted. They will be easily susceptible to fall down. They can be, mishandled. A woman can be easily wooed by a sweet talking man. Yeah. So it can easily happen. So how there will be unwanted children then, and the whole future of mankind will become filled with these unwanted children who are not legitimate children, and then they will create hell for the world. So I will be responsible by fighting this war. I will be responsible for that future hell. So this is how Arjuna was putting forward his arguments. He did not put forward any foolish arguments. He put forward very legitimate arguments. But still Krishna said that there is a higher principle than this. So then he explained the spiritual life. What is called, obedience to the spiritual master and Krishna himself. And what is dharma, what is adharma, and everything he explained anyway. So, but the point is this, that resonating, with the mind, that resonates. It doesn't make any difference what resonates with you or what doesn't resonate with you. What Krishna wants of us, that is dharma. What Krishna doesn't want of us, that is adharma. What Krishna says is truth. What Krishna doesn't say, that is not truth. That's it. Our acceptance of truth is only based on that. If we accept it, then we are actually intelligent. The Shastra may say less intelligent or whatever, but those women you see, like exalted women, Kunti Devi, Sita Devi, and who's that, Gandhari, all these women are very exalted women. Devahuti, Uttara, all these are very exalted women. Why? Because they did their dharma in such a nice way, and being humble, at the same time they were pure devotees. It doesn't mean, Krishna himself said, you see, less intelligent or more intelligent, it doesn't matter. Everybody can come to him. Chapter 9, text 32. Mam hi parthavyapashritya yepi syuh papayonayah striyo vaishyas tatha shudras tepi yanti param gatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. So the access to the Supreme Lord is not in any way diminished by being less intelligent. In fact, that very thing is said by Prahlad in the next verse, 799. You see, Manye dhanabhijana rupa tapah shrutaujas tejah prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga नाराधनाय हि भवन्ति परस्य पुंसो भक्त्या तुतोष भगवान् गजयूथपाय. Gajayuthapaya, you see this. Prahlad Maharaj continued, one may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him. Gajendra was an animal. What to speak? Woman is much more intelligent than an animal, right? But even animal, the Lord accepted. And what is the other prayer? We cannot speak like gentlemen. Hanuman is saying. (519.7). You see? Hanuman has composed such a beautiful verse. Na janmanunam mahato na saubhagam navan na buddhir na kritistosha hetuh tairyad visrishtan apino vanaukasash chakara sakhye bata lakshmanagrajah. One cannot establish a friendship with the Supreme Lord Ramachandra on the basis of material qualities such as one's birth in an aristocratic family, one's personal beauty, one's eloquence, one's sharp intelligence. Even if man is more intelligent than woman, it doesn't mean that they have access to the Lord. If one takes to devotional service, everybody can access to, even the animals can access the Lord. What to speak? See, eloquence, one's sharp intelligence, or one's superior race or nation. None of these qualifications is actually a prerequisite for friendship with Lord Sri Ramachandra. Otherwise, how is it possible that although we uncivilized inhabitants of the forest have not taken noble births, Hanuman is speaking on behalf of all the Vanaras, the monkeys. Otherwise, how is it possible that although we uncivilized inhabitants of the forest have not taken noble births, although we have no physical beauty, and although we cannot speak like gentlemen, Lord Ramachandra has nevertheless accepted us as friends. So, when they see these words, when they don't immediately, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't matter. The other way around. If we don't resonate with what the Lord says, it is our misfortune. Okay? We have to always say yes. We have to be a yes man for the Lord. So, whatever the Lord says is correct. Like Arjuna said, Sarvameta dhritam manye yanmam vadasi Keshava. Whatever you say, Krishna, I accept as truth. That is real disciple. This is another good verse in the comments. 11:29:4. We will go there. Srimad Bhagavatam 11. So we have to get out of our bodily concept. Because of my ego, I can't accept Krishna's statements. That is my problem. So I can't put my ego in front of the Lord. How can the Lord say like this? How can Prabhupada say like this? No. They will say what is the truth. How can you think like that they are not correct? That is your problem. 11:29:4. You see? Kim chitramachyuta tavaita dasesha bandho daseshvananya sharaneshu yadatma satvam yo rochayat saha mrgai swayamishvaranam shrimat kirita tatapidita padapitha. My dear infallible Lord, it is not very astonishing that you intimately approach your servants who have taken exclusive shelter of you. After all, during your appearance as Lord Ramachandra, even while great demigods like Brahma were vying to place the effulgent tips of their helmets upon the cushion where your lotus feet rested, you displayed special affection for monkeys such as Hanuman because they had taken exclusive shelter of you. Brahma, they were more than eager to put their helmet at the feet or at the cushion where the Lord's feet are rested. They wanted to put their head at the cushion, at least get some blessing. But they were only hoping for that blessing, that they can put their head at the feet of the Lord. But on the other hand, monkeys, Brahma, where is Brahma and where are monkeys? they could access the Lord so easily. And even though they were not gentlemen, could not speak nicely, but, so that is the problem. If our ahankar is too much, then we cannot approach the Lord. Actually, the sign of less intelligence is that we are more egoistic. If we are more egoistic, that means we are less intelligent. That is a sign of less intelligence, to be more egoistic. Okay. So the point is that we have to understand, the Shastra, and accept the words of Krishna. The Lord reserves the right not to reveal Himself to anyone and everyone, but to show Himself only to those souls who surrender unto Him. Thus, for the surrendered soul, He is always within reach, whereas for the unsurrendered soul, He is far, far away and cannot be approached. So this is what it means by far, tad dure, tadvantike. He is far away and near at the same time. For the devotees, He is very near. For the non-devotees, panthastu koti shatavat sarasam pragamyo. Millions of mind years away. In this connection, two words the revealed scriptures often apply to the Lord. Saguna, with qualities, and Nirguna, without qualities, are very important. The word Saguna does not imply that when the Lord appears with perceivable qualities, He must take on a material form and be subjected to the laws of material nature. For Him, there is no difference between the material and spiritual energies because He is the source of all energies. As the controller of all energies, He cannot at any time be under their influence as we are. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetuna anena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. By His rule, the whole world is moving. So, He is not under the rule of the material world. The material world is under His rule. As the controller of all energies, He cannot be at any time under their influence as we are. The material energy works according to His direction. Therefore, He can use that energy for His purposes without ever being influenced by any of the qualities of that energy. In this sense, He is Nirguna. Nirguna means that He is not affected by the gunas at all, without qualities. Nor does the Lord become a formless entity at any time, for ultimately He is the eternal form, the primeval Lord. His impersonal aspect or Brahman effulgence is but the glow of His personal rays, just as the sun's rays are the glow of the sun god. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita also. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, text 27. The last verse. Brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ikantikasya cha. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Krishna is saying, I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman. So whenever there is a bright light, there is a source of that light. So we have to know the source. What is the source of this? Not be satisfied with the light only. We have to know what is the source of this light. So similarly, now Krishna is confirming here, I am the basis of that impersonal Brahman. I am the source of the light. That's why in the Brahma Samhita, what is that? Sadujjvala vigrahasya, ujjvala vigrahasya, bright form, His impersonal aspect or Brahman effulgence is but the glow of His personal rays, just as the sun's rays are the glow of the sun god. When the child saint Prahlad Maharaj was in the presence of his atheist father, his father asked him, where is your God? When Prahlad replied that God resides everywhere, the father angrily asked whether his God was within one of the pillars of the palace, and the child said yes. At once the atheist king shattered the pillar in front of him to pieces, and the Lord instantly appeared as Narasimha, the half man, half lion incarnation, and killed the atheist king. Thus the Lord is within everything, and He creates everything by His different energies. Through His inconceivable powers, He can appear at any place in order to favor His sincere devotee. Lord Narasimha appeared from within the pillar not by the order of the atheist king, but by the wish of his devotee Prahlad. This we have seen in the Narasimha Leela, the series that we have done. So He did not come because the Hiranyakashipu challenged Him. Where are you? Is He in this pillar? Okay, let me see. Because to answer Hiranyakashipu's challenge He came. No. He came because Prahlad said yes. For that He came. An atheist cannot order the Lord to appear. but the Lord will appear anywhere and everywhere to show mercy to his devotee. The Bhagavad Gita 4.8 Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. It is said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. I come to protect the devotees and destroy the demons. But actually, the destroying the demons, he can do it with either by his agency also. He doesn't need to personally come down for that, and he is not interested in that very much. His main thing is about protecting the devotees. That is his real. For the devotees is what he comes really. The Bhagavad Gita similarly states that the Lord appears in order to vanquish non-believers and protect believers. Of course, the Lord has sufficient energies and agents who can vanquish atheists, but it pleases him to personally favor a devotee. Therefore, he descends as an incarnation. Actually, he descends only to favor his devotees and not for any other purpose. In the Brahma Samhita 5.35, what is that? Anadim Anantarum, is that? Oh, this is, wait a second, I forgot. Ekopyasa Rachayitam, alright. Okay, this one. In the Brahma Samhita 5.35, it is said that Govinda, the primeval Lord, enters everything by his plenary portion. He enters the universe as well as all the atoms of the universe. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. He is outside in his Virat form, and he is within everything as Antaryami. As Antaryami, he witnesses everything that is going on, and he awards us the result of our actions as karma phala, the fruits of our karma. We ourselves may forget what we have done in previous lives, but because the Lord witnesses our actions, the results of our actions are always there, and we have to undergo the reactions nonetheless. What we have done in our past life, we forgot, but the Lord does not forget. The Lord remembers, he brings back that result of the karma. Hey, you did this, you have suffered now. The fact is that there is nothing but God within and without. This is the actual understanding. Vasudeva sarvamiti. The fact is that there is nothing but God within and without. Everything is a manifestation of his different energies, like the heat and light emanating from a fire. And in this way there is a oneness among his diverse energies. Although there is oneness, however, the Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasures enjoyed minutely by the tiny part and parcel living entities. You see, this is important. The Lord in his personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasures enjoyed minutely by the tiny part and parcel living entities. Whatever we are trying to enjoy in this world in a minute way, in our own minute way, the Lord is enjoying the same things in unlimitedly. But that is pure enjoyment there. Like here, everybody, like boy and girl, they want to dance, they want to have intimate connections. We can't do it unlimitedly. We do it unlimitedly, the person will have AIDS. So, but the Lord, he has millions and millions and millions of girlfriends, gopis. But he is all pure love. It's not like lust, so bad here. So in the spiritual world, everything is pure, like gold, and here is like iron, worlds apart. But whatever we are trying to enjoy here, the Lord is enjoying in an unlimited sense, and that is real enjoyment. And if we can cooperate with him, we can also enjoy with the Lord. But when we don't cooperate with him, we want to be the enjoyer separately, that's when all the problem starts. All right. In fact, this last paragraph you see here, the fact is that there is nothing but God within and without. A pure devotee sees like this, and those are the next two verses. That the Lord is inconceivable. These two verses, yesterday's and today's, is the Lord is inconceivable, and the next two verses is about the vision of the pure devotee, when actually that inconceivable Lord, who is otherwise not reachable, he cannot be reached, he is so accessible to devotee that he sees him everywhere. He is so accessible to the devotee. Everywhere he is accessible. So how the devotee sees, that is the next verse and the verse after that. All right. Let's take questions. So we have a few questions here. Virendra Prabhu from India. How can we, I think you're from Pune, right? how can we know that our progress and purification is happening while performing devotional service? So I think some of you already know the answer. Canto 11, chapter 2, text 42. The thing is whether we are getting enthusiastic about devotional service, whether we are getting, these are the things, three things. Bhaktir, bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktir, anyatra chaishatrika ekakalah, prapadyamanasya yathasnatah syus, tuštih puštih kshudapayo nughasam. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the same way that pleasure, nourishment and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. So the example is, how do we know that our purification and progress is happening? This is pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam. So when you are eating, you know that with each morsel going into the mouth, your hunger is being satisfied, your nourishment is being done, and you get strength more and more. So similarly, when we advance in devotional service, then our enthusiasm to serve Krishna, our realizations improve, and we get detached, we get disgusted with material way of life. So if these things are developing, that means one is advancing, progressing in devotional life. But if there is some, one is not very enthusiastic, or we don't have the we are demoralized, or when we are lazy, we don't have many realizations, we are just stuck with the same understanding, and we are attracted to materialistic movies or ideas or anything. These things mean, or if if I'm not getting the detachment that I'm supposed to get from materialistic way of life, that means I'm not advancing. So you are from Thane, okay, good. Okay, Virendra Prabhu's next question. Is it due to Mahavishnu's Yoga Nidra sleep that material universes are in darkness? Actually, this is also another explanation of the material world. Yes, so the Mahavishnu, when he is lying down in his Yoga Nidra sleep, so in his dream, he is creating this whole material world. But his dream is so real that we actually feel it, really. But actually it's a dream. It's actually a dream. The soul does not feel anything. It is because of false ego that we tend to feel. Just like when we are sleeping, when we are in danger, we feel the danger. But the soul is nowhere in danger. He's just sleeping. He's just there in the body. There's no danger. But we feel the danger because of the false ego, the misidentification. Because we identify with that dream body. Not the dream body means, like like ripped body. We're talking about the body in the dream. Because we identify with that body in the dream, so therefore we feel that, oh, I'm being attacked by a tiger or something like that. So it's the false ego that is making us that fear inside us. So similarly, this body is actually not us, but because of our false ego, our misidentification with this body, therefore we feel that this is all real, but this is actually in the dream of Mahavishnu, all this is happening. So we are in that dream of Mahavishnu and this whole thing is being done. Virendra Prabhu's next question. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed that he is Radha Krishna combined to few devotees like Prakashananda Saraswati and not all. And Ramananda Rai, yeah, few, those who can understand these things. So for them he revealed, yes. Next question by Virendra Prabhu again. I think today all questions are by him only. Chaitanya, what is Sambandha Gyan, Abhidheya Gyan and Prayojan Gyan? Are these three stages in which a devotee progresses himself in Krishna consciousness realization? Yes, so Sambandha means the knowledge of Krishna, like the knowledge of who we are, actually first of all, who God is, what is his energies and how he is controlling them, and how we are also an energy and we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are meant for His satisfaction, so we have to serve Him. So once that is understood, our sambandha means relationship. What is our relationship? To whom are we related actually? First of all, our false relationships have to be cut. No, that is not where you are related. Your real relation is with Krishna. So once that is established, now that relationship has to be cultivated. So I have to cultivate that relationship. It means I must engage in loving reciprocations with the Lord. I have to offer Him so many things. I have to cook for Him, I have to dress Him, I have to preach, glorify His holy name. This is all serving Him. The more His glories are known, the more. So if you like someone, you will talk about him to everybody, right? So similarly, when there is love for Krishna, then there is automatically the devotee wants to speak about Krishna more and more. So that is symptom of love. So that sambandha is being cultivated. That is abhidheya. Abhidheya means the process in which one tries to re-establish that sambandha. We have tried to get away from that relationship and come into this material world and enjoy here and establishing our relation with our family, our friends and our enemies or whatever. But we have to establish our relationship back with the Lord. So we have to cut away this sambandha and establish that sambandha. And understanding that truth is the sambandha. And actually engaging in Krishna's service, that is abhidheya. And once one actually achieves perfection in such service, when one attains love of Godhead, prema, Krishna prema, that is when it is called prayojana, the fruit of that practice of abhidheya. So this is the progression. So if you see the Sikshashtaka also, in the beginning, the sambandha, first of all the glories of the holy name, the Sankirtan movement. Then, I am not having any attraction, second verse. So I am not having that. Now I am disassociated with this sambandha. So then how to get the sambandha? We have to be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the tree. Then kirtaniya sadahari. Then we can chant the holy name. And what will happen? Holy name? Then we will be not wanting any more dhana jana sundari. And we want to be engaged perpetually in the devotion of Krishna, devotional service, life after life even. And then, one get asakti. And please engage me in your service, please make me a dust at the feet of your lotus feet. And then when will the bhava, comes, that, when will I start, tears, when will they come, and when will my hair stand on end? And then it goes to viraha, the sunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. That vipralambha seva, which is like, without Krishna everything is like zero. Nothing appears, everything is, the whole universe is zero. Shunyayitam jagat sarvam, the entire universe appears null and void without Govinda. That kind of intense separation from the Lord. That, what is that called? Vipralambha seva. And finally, unconditional surrender. Krishna, whatever you want to do with me, that is pure love. As long as there is a tinge of, I want something from you, that is lust. So, no matter what you do, you are still my prananath. You are still the Lord of my life. That is pure love. That is called Krishna prema. So, all these Sikshashtaka verses are the progression of one's devotional life through the stages of Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojan. Alright, so next question by Virendra Prabhu again. In Hinduism, there are three major sects. Smartas or Shaktas who worship Durga, Saraswati, Ganesh, Lakshmi and Skanda. Shaivas worship Lord Shiva as Lingam, and Vaishnavas worship Radha Krishna. All worship in deity form. What is the destination of various worshippers? So that is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, you must worship properly. Then this is the destination. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitrivrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopi mam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. So those who worship different demigods, they go to the demigods. Of course, they must worship properly. That worship also has to be properly done. Nowadays, nobody even does anything properly. So in fact, there is this thing in the CC. Madhya 24, 330. If you go here, there is something important that is to be understood here. You see here, in material consciousness, however, even one who is situated in the mode of goodness is susceptible to the pollution by the modes of passion and ignorance. When the mode of goodness is mixed with the mode of passion, one worships the sun god, Vivaswan. You see, when one goodness and passion mixed, he worships the sun god, Vivaswan. When the mode of goodness is mixed with the mode of ignorance, one worships Ganapati or Ganesh. When the mode of passion is mixed with the mode of ignorance, one worships Durga or Kali, the external potency. When one is simply in the mode of ignorance, one becomes a devotee of Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva is the predominating deity of the mode of ignorance within this material world. However, when one is completely free from the influence of all modes of material nature, one becomes a pure Vaishnava on the devotional platform. This is also explained in the second chapter, second canto, third chapter, verses 2 through 7, on 2 through 10 actually. Then we have what? Virendra Prabhu. Again, so does Supreme Lord Krishna shower His mercy only on devotees and not on non-devotees, since they don't chant His holy name? No, His mercy is on everybody, just that the devotees receive it and the non-devotees don't want to receive it. Like it is said, there is a Bengali proverb which says, the moonshine is equally distributed. It does not say that it will not shine upon the Chandala, who is a dog eating dog. The moonshine is equally available for Chandala or for the Brahmana. But if I choose to remain within the covering and I don't want to see the moon or the moonshine, if I cover myself up with all the windows and doors, everything shut and curtain, everything, so that it's complete darkness, nobody is to be blamed. The moon cannot be blamed for his darkness, because it is his own choice that he wants to be out of that light. So similarly, the mercy of the Lord is equally available everywhere, but the atheists, they choose not to receive such mercy of the Lord. The devotees are open to that, so therefore they receive the mercy of the Lord. Ajanya Mataji, if we say Ajamil story to any person, is there any chance to do sins consciously by him? And when Yamaraj comes, chant Narayana's name? Okay, I think I understand your question. So if we say the Ajamil story that whole life he was sinful and at the last he chanted Narayan's name and he went back to Godhead. So if we say this to somebody, they will think that, oh, this is good, I will do all sins in my life and chant Narayana's name and then I'll go back. So good, I'll get both. I'll enjoy here and I'll enjoy in the spiritual world also. So among the cheaters, Krishna is the greatest cheater. And actually there is a story like this. This man, he heard from a sadhu that, that's why he heard the Ajamil story and said, this is why everybody should name their children as, God's name, so that they always chant his name. Actually, Ajamil was chanting Narayana not because he was thinking of the Lord, not Narayana. He was thinking of his son Narayana, his youngest son. He was 88 years old and he had a son of 2 years old. Just imagine how long he was having sex. So he had a 2-year-old son, Narayana. But then when he chanted Narayana, actually calling his son, out of desperation, because he was being handled by the Yamadutas. And then out of fear, he did not know what to say. He saw the child nearby and he said, Narayana. Then when he said Narayana, that thought of Lord Narayana came in his mind, because as a young man, as a boy, until he was a young man, after he saw the prostitute, then he fell down. But until then, he was doing all this worship, so that again reminded him. Neha bhikramanashosti pratyavayo navidyate svalpamapya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Chapter 2, text 40 of Bhagavad Gita. Even a little bit we do in devotional service will save us from the greatest danger. So because he did that, it came back, that memory. And then Vishnudutas immediately came But they did not take him. They dissuaded the Yamadutas from taking. No, you go back, you can't take him. But then they also did not take him. Just when the Yamadutas left, he was feeling very relieved and he wanted to pay his obeisances to Vishnudutas. He wanted to bow down and they also disappeared. Then he realized his mistake. Then he went to the Haridwar and then spent all his life in chanting Hare Krishna. And then the Vishnudutas actually came down again. And then they took him in the plane back to Vaikuntha. So it is not that we can cheat the Lord. He fell down, yes, because he saw this prostitute. But if I see this, so this man, he heard this story from a sadhu. So he said, this is good. Okay, I'm just married. So when I have my sons, I will name them after Krishna's names. And I will carry on my life, I will do whatever I want, and then because I always will be chanting them, so in the end I will get this benediction also. Very good, very good. So he had 3 sons, Govinda, Damodar, Madhava. Govinda, Damodar, Madhaveti. So he named his sons Govinda, Damodar, Madhava. Good. So every time he would chant Govinda, Damodar, Madhava, everything. So, and he was a businessman, a cloth merchant. So he was on his deathbed one day. He became old and he was on his deathbed. And his 3 sons were actually, already young men, and they were taking care of the shop. And he was on the deathbed. He was actually a very miserly man all his life. So he was always thinking about how to earn more money, how to make more profit. The shop, and everything. He would buy the best cloth, and for the cheapest price, he would bargain like anything, and then he would sell it at a price. And then in this way, he was always thinking of business. Now on the deathbed, he was lying down, and he was hardly conscious. Then he saw, then he's Govinda, and then yes, I am here, Father. Oh, good. Then what is that? Damodar? Oh, here. Good. Madhava, where is Madhava? Oh, Madhava is here. Okay, good. Then why all of you 3 are here? Who is in the shop now? Who is maintaining the accounts there? Maybe somebody has stolen the money. Then he died. So he thought of money and died. So he wanted to fool Krishna, but then in the end, who is fooled? So although we may have all these things, but the main thing is sada tadbhava bhavitam. To think of Krishna at the time of death is not so easy. Ajamil had done sincere service when he was a young man. So we cannot fool Krishna. So we have to always, at the time of death, it is very, very difficult to think of Krishna unless we practice it whole life. It is very, the whole situation is so disturbing that even if we have some headache, some fever, just see if we can remember Krishna or not. How difficult it will become. And then this fever is just like 1/100th of the portion of what death is. Even less maybe. Death is so painful, but so at that time how to remember Krishna? If we can't even remember him when we have a headache, forget him. Even when we are normal everything, we can't remember him. What to speak of headache and what to speak of death. So we should just see like this. So we can't cheat. So don't worry. Don't worry that if you tell Ajamil story, somebody will be attracted to sinful activities. No. So we should not think like this, that if we really tell the truth, about scripture, then somebody will be attracted to other things. No. Prabhupada told us about Ajamil story. To what were we attracted? To the holy name or to the prostitute? So, we should not assume things. These stories are mentioned in the Bhagavatam, we should just repeat them, that's all. We should not have these apprehensions about scripture. That is the 4th offense. To have this kind of apprehensions, this, like the other example, like women are less intelligent. Oh, maybe, this word should be covered up, we should not say exactly like this because, people won't like it. So, are you here to please the people or are you here to please Krishna? So that we have to think always. Am I here to please Krishna or the people? Foolish people who don't know what they're talking about. So, we should speak the truth always. It is just the truth. Like Prabhupada said so many times, women less intelligent. But we don't see him, abusing women, no, right? He took care of them just like his daughters. So that is there. At the same time, the love and affection is also there. But the fact is this. Fact is that, that's all. But it's not that they should be discriminated against. In fact, it means only that they should be taken even more care to protect them from fall down. So that's why in the Vedic scriptures, in the Vedic culture, the woman is always under protection of a man. As a girl, she is under the protection of a father. As a young woman, under the protection of husband. When older still, under the protection of her grown-up sons. So this is the proper way. So that's why woman. Whereas a man, he can become brahmachari, he can become sannyasi, vanaprastha, but woman can't. Woman can't go as a monk, nun. There is no such thing as nunhood in our Vedic culture. There is no nuns in our Vedic culture. Never in our whole history there was a nun. Why? Because that's actually Strī dharma. This nun thing is always in non-Vedic religions, which is not anywhere in the Vedas. There you will find sometimes these things, but not in Vedic religion. Alright, so Vanajakshi Mataji is asking, Prabhuji, when Krishna is Antike, Antaha, Sarvasya, Antar, Bahir and all, why has to Krishna run from Vaikuntha to descend before a devotee? He is running and he is not running. So that is the thing. He runs and he doesn't run. He doesn't need to run, but still he runs because he wants to serve his devotee. He is already there on the tongue, in single molecule of the tongue also he is there. So he is there and he is not there. So he runs and he doesn't run. So that's why that's why when he is everywhere, why he needs to run? Antar Bahir. He doesn't need to, but he does it. That's why he has nothing. He is not in need of anything. When he eats, he is not in need of food. When he comes down to this material world, he is not in need of anything. He did not come here to find something valuable. No. He is not. We do something because we are in need of it. We eat because we are hungry. We need food. He eats not because he needs food. He just enjoys having food. That's why his what is that? Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha. He doesn't operate on a platform of necessity. He operates on a platform of pleasure. Anandamayo bhyasat. Chinmaya ananda. Ananda chinmaya rasa. So this is spiritual happiness. It's on the planet. Krishna, you have seen that painting, famous painting where Krishna is in the center and all his cowherd boyfriends are eating with him in the forest. You think all of them are hungry and they're eating? No. Krishna is hungry? No. They're all eating out of pastime. That's why it's called Leela. What is the difference between Leela and Karma? We have taken birth here because of our Karma. Krishna takes birth because it's his own Leela. He is completely free. He doesn't need to come here. That's why this is called causeless mercy. Causeless mercy means there is no cause why he has to do this. He doesn't need to, but still he does. So that is Krishna. So he doesn't need to run to a devotee, but he likes to run to his devotee. He likes to be his driver, just like Arjuna. He became Partha Sarathi. I want to drive your chariot. Is there any need for Krishna? When he is the Supreme Lord, he can just enjoy on his, that's not Krishna. Krishna wants to be a servant of, his devotees. So that is Krishna. He is motivated to do that. So that's why he runs. It's not that he has to run. He doesn't have to do anything for that matter, not only run, anything. But he still does it. That is his free will. He wants to do it, he does it. Venkatesh Prabhu, will Lord also have ego quality? Because we have, definitely it will be one of the God quality, I guess. If yes, to whom he can show ego, as we know he is the supreme and possesses everything. So this pride, does he have in the Lord? Is there pride in the Lord? Yes. So everything that is here is there in the Lord. That pride we have seen yesterday, Dhirodhata quality of the Lord, right? When he wrote the letter to Kala Yavana and said, you are like a frog, you are like a frog. So he also showed his pride. He went to Aristasura also. When the demon Aristasura was, bellowing, and then all the women and men, everybody were in fear. Then he said, hey, who do you think you are? Huh? Why are you making noise? If you have any guts, come and fight with me, na? Who are you? So that is also pride. So he does it, but he does it to protect his devotees. Therefore, his pride is always good. And actually, it's not pride. Pride means you're overconfident. Overconfident. Even though actually whatever ability we have, it is not because of our... See, one nerve the Lord can just snap in the head and will become paralyzed. We think we are a great speaker, we think we are a great bodybuilder, or we think we are a great singer or dancer or anything, or fighting. Perfect example, Muhammad Ali, greatest boxer of all time and everything, right? Greatest boxer of all time. But then, you know what happened in his old age? He can't even walk. He can't even walk. I mean, he used to be so fast, punching, legend, boxing legend, but in the end, he can't even walk. Forget about putting his hands like this. He can't even do this. And he died. So, if the Lord wants, He can withdraw that energy, that power from us at any time. So, to think that we are the cause of our learning or our strength or of anything, that is pride. But when Krishna says, hey, who are you? Why are you making noise? Don't make so much noise. If you have any strength, come and if you have any guts, come and fight with me. Na? So when he is saying that, he is not talking out of pride. Although it looks like so. Because he is totally confident of what he can do. And who can match the Lord in his strength? Whereas we have no control of our life. We think we do. Out of the mercy of the Lord, we do have some control. As long as He blesses us with that control or that strength, we have. But if He chooses, we can be just snapped. 1 second we are out and nothing we can do. So that is pride. When we have ego, we think we are so big. But when the Lord says, He can actually deliver it. He can actually deliver it at any time. Even though he was a child in the lap of his mother, he was sucking the breast of Putana. He killed her. He could do it at any time. Not at any time he is weak and he is overconfident. There is no such thing as overconfident for the Lord. Overconfident means you have more estimation of your abilities than actually you have the ability. So, but in the Lord's case, no. He knows exactly His power. And His power is immeasurable. So that's why His pride is justified. Whereas our pride is not justified. Because the body, the mind, the tongue that we have, that the proud words that we speak, everything is given by the Lord. It's a rented property and we're thinking as if it's our own and talking as if we own everything, we are masters of everything. This is our problem. That's why our pride is not warranted. I mean, nobody likes it. But when Krishna, talks like that proudly, oh, everybody, why? Yes, that's difference. So He can deliver, we can't deliver. Okay. Vishnu Teja asks, Prabhu, what will happen to Sai Baba worshippers? Should I try to convince my family about Krishna consciousness or just try to better myself in devotional service? You can try both. You can, advance in Krishna consciousness at the same time. If you can convince them, well and good. So, but whoever worships an ordinary man as God, he is a Naraki. He will go to hell. In Naraki. So Guru Shu Naramatir. If you think of Guru as an ordinary man, you are a resident of hell. And if you think an ordinary man to be a Guru, you are also in a hell. Hellish mentality. So, just like we have read that Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu slapped him. What nonsense you are talking, So, that is what we will get. A slap. Not from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu though, but from Maya. Because he was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal servant, he got it from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But here we will get from Maya. What is that slap from Maya means? Hellish life. So these gurus, the followers go with them. 6, 7, 14. We have seen this verse many times in this few days. But we will see again because it's very important. Tesham kupatha deshtrinam tamasi patatam tamasi hyadhaha ye shraddadhyur vachastevai majjanti ashmaplavaiva. Leaders who have fallen into ignorance and who mislead people by directing them to the path of destruction, as described in the previous verse, are in effect boarding a stone boat, and so too are those who blindly follow them. A stone boat would be unable to float and would sink in the water with its passengers. Similarly, those who mislead people go to hell and their followers go with them. Govind Shalke, how to overcome from fear of death? So, the fear of death exists because we think we are the body, and with the end of the body we are finished. So, we have to get out of this bodily concept of life. Therefore, we have to read Bhagavad Gita first, get convinced. This life, as we are living now, we have to understand, we have to put all efforts in understanding the Bhagavad Gita, contemplating on all the statements and chanting Hare Krishna. Without chanting, just reading also will not give us the strength. We have to do both. So chanting and hearing and get convinced, and not just again reading and chanting, engaging in Krishna's service. If I am a servant of Krishna, I should work on the spiritual platform, on the platform of the soul. Then I will have the realizations and slowly I will become fearless of death. So there is one nice verse, I think 5:19-14, I think. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah. यथैहि कामुष्मिक कामलम्पटः सुतेषु दारेषु धनेषु चिन्तयन् शङ्केत विद्वान् कुकलेवरात्ययाद् यस्तस्य यत्नः श्रम एव केवलम्. Materialists are generally very attached to their present bodily comforts and to the bodily comforts they expect in the future. Therefore, they are always absorbed in thoughts of their wives, children and wealth, and are afraid of giving up their bodies, which are full of stool and urine. Body is nothing but a bag of stool and urine and blood and flesh and bones and the most horrible things. Who likes to see a skeleton? You see it, you become scared. But that's what is our body made of. It's horrible. It's made of horrible things. But we are so attached to this body that we fear death. So in thoughts, absorbed in thoughts of wives, children and wealth, and are afraid of giving up their bodies which are full of stool and urine. If a person engaged in Krishna consciousness, however, is also afraid of giving up his body, what is the use of his having labored hard to study the Shastras? It was simply a waste of time. So how to come? Even if we should read Shastras, if we are afraid of death, that means we haven't really gone into depth, and we haven't really understood, and we have not really acted on those instructions. We have to be, every time we have to be convinced that how we are not the body. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. When we are chanting Hare Krishna, that means, Oh Radha, Oh Krishna, please engage me in your service. What is that? I am a soul. I am trapped in this material body. I am in this material existence because I have left your service, Radha Krishna. I have left your service. Now I want to engage back in your service. I am a pure soul. I have nothing to do with this material body. I am just your eternal servant. Let me remember this all the time and let me be engaged in your service all the time. That is the meaning of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are already out of the bodily concept. If we actually, chant with focus, with attention, I am the Supreme Lord, please engage me in your service. I am a horrible, I am a soul with a horrible mentality, that's why I have fallen to this material world. Please take me back. So the chant is on the platform of the soul already. But we fail to realize these things because we don't take it seriously. We just Hare Krishna, we're not focused. That's why we're not convinced. That's why it is said, even after reading all the Shastras and everything, if we become fearful of death, then what is the use? That happens. We think knowledge is what will save us from this ignorance. But even after Shastras, one can have this fear of death. That's because we don't really pay attention. We don't pay attention. We should always pay attention to the fact that I am not this body, I am the soul, I am not this body, I am the soul, I am a servant of Krishna, I am a servant. That is exactly the meaning of chanting Hare Krishna. I am not this body, I am a soul, I am a servant of Krishna. Please engage me, Krishna, in your service. So the whole chanting is this process only. It is filled with knowledge. The whole Mahamantra is filled with knowledge. Iti Shodasakam Namnam Kalikalmashanashanam Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Vidyavadhu Jivanam. In the first verse of Shikshashtaka it is Vidyavadhu Jivanam. It is imbued with the entire, it is the culmination of all education. Chanting of the holy name. In the chanting of the holy name is full knowledge. But because we don't pay attention while we are studying Shastra, while we are chanting, while we are doing service, we don't pay attention, but we are just doing service and in the mind our thinking is all material topics. Then how we will face death adequately, properly? We will fail the exam of death. A person who is properly prepared for the exam, he does not fear the exam. But because we don't prepare properly, we did not pay attention in class, we did not pay attention when we're doing homework, we just copied from somewhere. So these things will not help us. We have to pay attention and fully involve ourselves. Mayarpita manobuddhir, Krishna said. Mayarpita manobuddhir. We'll take out that verse. Chapter 8, text 7 of Bhagavad Gita. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpita manobuddhir mame vaishyasam samshayah. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. So even while we are working, his duty was to fight. You are maybe engaged in some work somewhere, or you have your family affairs to attend to, but all the time we have to remember, this is not my family, this is just Krishna's family. I have to just engage them in Krishna's service. I have to myself engage in Krishna's service. So in this way, all the time we have to remember all these instructions and live on that platform. Then it is perfect. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. So when our mind and intelligence is fixed on Krishna, that's when we are paying attention. Otherwise, with our hands we can do, but if our mind is somewhere else, intelligence is somewhere else, if we're planning this thing and that thing, how to earn money, how to do this, how to do that. But with our hands we're doing some service, maybe rolling chapatis for Krishna, or cutting some fruits, or carrying something, or sweeping the floor. But in my mind I'm thinking all these plans. Or while I'm chanting, I'm thinking of so many things. Then all this inattention is what is causing that fear of death. So we have to, first of all, knowledge has to be there. It's a must. And the practice on the basis of knowledge has to be there, like chanting and engaging in service and hearing from devotees constantly. Why there is class? Why we are trying to do this every day? Because otherwise we are hearing Maya every day. If you don't hear here, you will hear Maya. So we have to hear from the devotees, we have to read Prabhupāda's books, and we have to chant and pay attention when we are doing service. We have to always remember that I am a soul, I am insignificant. My service, I should never think that my service is so big that without me the temple cannot run, without me the movement cannot go. Nothing, no. Krishna can do everything without us. If I engage, it is my fortune that I am engaging. So I can never serve Krishna adequately, but if I can serve, that is to my credit, that is to my benefit. So in this way, if we serve, then we will come out of this fear of death, that humility, and attention, paying attention and being humble. And kirtaniya sadahari, all the time kirtan. How can we pay attention and attentively serve, whether chanting or any service? If we don't do offenses. If we commit offenses, again that enthusiasm, that attention, everything will just be disturbed, agitated by the offenses. So for how to avoid offenses? Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi saishvana. We have to be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the tree. Then we can avoid offenses. Then kirtaniya sadaharihi. Alright, so Prema Bhakti Mataji. So you mentioned that women may also approach the Lord despite the lower intelligence. In the purport of 7.15.36, it is mentioned that one must ultimately accept sannyas, the renounced order, for only by the renounced order one can be situated in Brahma Sukha or transcendental bliss. Since women may not accept the renounced order of life, does this mean they may not be fully purified? Sannyasa means not just the robes. Sannyasa means, yes, the sannyas ashram, the external sannyas ashram is only for men, but we will go to first this third chapter, fourth verse. See, na karmana manarambhan naishkarmyam purushošnute na cha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. See, na cha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. We cannot get siddhi, perfection, just by becoming sannyas. What needs to be actually done is this. Sannyasa means, we will go into more of this. So this is from the 6th chapter, 1st verse now. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Anashritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yah sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyah. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life. This is sannyasi. What is that? Anashritaha karma phalam. We are not taking shelter of the karma phalam. We are just doing our karma according to Krishna's instructions, and anashritaha. We have to do it as a matter of duty. Karyam karma karoti yaha. When we do like that, sa sannyasi cha, yogi cha, na niragnirna chakriyaha. Who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. If one takes to so-called sannyas where I don't need to do any more duties, and in grahastha ashram there are so many homas you have to do, for purification. You have to invite sadhus, you have to so many things, the duties for purification of the grahasthas. But sannyasi doesn't have to do all those things. So if one takes sannyas and does not do all the things and thinks now he is above all this karma phala, he says, not he who lights no fire. That means usually when you do yajnas in the grahastha ashram, you have to have the fire, the fire yajna. So you have to do all that. So many yajnas are there for the purification of the grahastha. So here it is said, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. He is not real sannyas. He who is actually working as he is obligated. So if we are in sannyas ashram, then we have to work as is enjoined. It's not that he can relax now. No, sannyasa means even more work. That means, what is that? Tyaktva turnamasesh mandalapati sada tuchhavat bhutva dina ganeshakau karunaya kaupina kanthasritau. The 6 Goswamis, they have given up their family life, they've given up their government offices or whatever jobs, everything they gave up. Big posts they have given up and then taken up the biggest task of Bhutva Dina Ganesha Kau Karunaya, to show mercy to the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. They have become mendicants, and now they have written so many books, the Goswamis, and they have excavated all the holy places. They have set the foundation for the spreading of the Krishna consciousness movement. Now Prabhupada has spread this all across the world. But the books that he translated, all the commentaries of Goswamis, Jiva Goswami, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all those sages have done. So he has translated into English. So they have set the foundation, and Prabhupada used all that material, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all this Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and then he pushed the movement forward. So they say that they set the foundation for the whole thing. So they are always working for the ultimate benefit of mankind. So that is real sannyasi. Real sannyasi is specific duty is that. But anybody, wherever he is, either as a brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyas, or as a stree, as a woman also, if she is doing her duty as is enjoined in the scriptures, she is obliged by the scriptures, that is already sannyas. Sa sannyasi cha, yogi cha, na niragnirna chakriyaha. Not he who has given up all duties and then relaxing now. That is not sannyas. That is real sannyas. Just like here you see Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 41, I guess. Kunti Devi, she is a woman. See how she is. Atha Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishwamurte Svakeshu Mem Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Sannyasi means you have to cut off your ties of affection with the family. Now Kunti Devi also is saying like this. I want to sever my attachment from my... But she did not accept the saffron cloth and went now as a sannyasi, no. She was there, but her attachment in her mind. Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi. And then what? Where my affection should go then? Next. Tvayi menanya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit rati mudvaha tadadha gangevaugham mudanvati. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. So I don't want to be diverted. I don't want to divert my affection to Vrishnis and the Pandus. Please cut off my ties of affection for all of them. Let me remember always you, just like the Ganga always flows to the sea. Let my thoughts always be unto you. So this is real sannyas. Even though she was a woman, she is detached. At the same time she was in the household, she did not go away anywhere. At the same time, she was detached and she was attached to Krishna. This is sannyasi. Alright, Rabi Narayan Tripathi from, I think, where is it? Dubai? I think. So, Prabhu, is it possible with the fragrance of flower offered to Krishna one can be a devotee? Yes, so Krishna is saying, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. So, we offer the flower to Krishna, and when we smell the fragrance of the flower, that is devotee, because we are offered. See, the two things. Devotee is just a very simple thing. An ordinary man would just take the flower and then, nice. He wants to enjoy. He wants to enjoy. Or he gives it to his girlfriend because, he wants his girlfriend to enjoy. And when his girlfriend is happy, he will enjoy. So, that is the whole point. He wants to be happy. But a devotee, he will offer everything first to Krishna. Krishna, you take this flower. And then after that, when Krishna has taken that prasadam, when he takes, then he gets purified. So same smelling of the flower, but first offer to Krishna before you smell it. So that is accepting prasadam. So we are always drilling into our brain that Krishna is the first enjoyer. I am the secondary prasadam of Krishna I have to take. Whether it be the, garland of the Lord, sometimes the garland that was put for the Lord, they'll put, sometimes you may have seen our videos and giving lectures when we have a garland. Not that, I'm a big Maharaj now, I'm the biggest Lord, no. It is actually the prasadam garland of the Lord that was yesterday's garland, so that was kept just to put for the speaker. So then when we speak, that prasadam garland is, put on the neck so that the speaker will, by the mercy of the Lord, of the garland, by the mercy of the Lord, he may speak words that are favorable to devotional service of the Lord and glorify him properly. So for that mercy of the Lord. So that is the meaning. So everything the Lord that is used by the Lord, we have to use as prasadam. Just like yat chakshuresha savita. So chakshu, we are seeing, but our vision is secondary. Unless the sun throws light, we can't see. So our seeing only can happen after his seeing. That sun is his eye. Yat chakshuresha savita. So actually there is always a fact. We cannot do anything without the Lord doing it first. Now that flower is there on that plant. You think the Lord doesn't know the smell of that flower? He is not smelling. He is everywhere, right? Sarvatra pani padam tat sarvatokshi shiro mukham sarvatashruti malloke sarvam avritya tishtati. Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, text 14. See, everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the Supersoul exists, pervading everything. So he is there also in that near that flowering plant. He is also there. He also has his face. He has his faces everywhere. So his face means his nose is also there. He can smell and he can smell with his eyes. He can smell with his angani yassa sakalendra vrittimanti. So he is already smelling. Why we have to pluck in offer to Krishna? That devotion is what he accepts. It's not that he cannot smell if you don't show him the flower. No, he can smell. He is the one who put the smell in the flower in the first place. He is the one who put that smell. Where from? The bijaham sarva bhutanam. I am the seed. When you sow the seed, that plant is growing. And bijaham, he is saying, I am that seed. In that seed, which flavor from the earth the plant will extract and show in that flower, it depends on the seed. So, otherwise, it's the same earth, the same sunlight, the same water, every plant is taking. But each is producing its own varieties. Some are producing fruits, some flowers, some vegetables, some, different ways. So, all that is from the same earth, water, fire, but what is changing? The seed. Krishna says, Bijaham Sarva Bhutana. Because of Krishna, he has put in the formula inside. He has put a program, just like when you code programming. When you code a program, then the machine will act according to your program. So similarly, Krishna has put a code in the seed, and it is extracting that flavor of coconut trees, that extracting coconut flavor. Banana is extracting banana flavor. Mango, mango flavor. Apple, so many flavors are coming out, and some are flowers. So all these things Krishna has himself created through his energies. See, he's such a great artist, scientist, everything. Now we are offering that to Krishna. That offering is what? Dadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami. If you offer with love, I will accept it. So then we will become devotee. And then we can smell the food we offer to him first, and then we eat. Just like when he sees with his son, with his eye, then we can see. So it is always a fact that without Krishna seeing something, we cannot see anything. That means if we have seen something, that means Krishna has already seen that. Without his seeing, we cannot see. Everything about us is secondary. Krishna is always the first. So to drill that consciousness in our mind, because with our big ego, we are thinking that we are the first. I am the Lord, I am the enjoyer, I have to enjoy it first. We have to always realize that the Lord is the first enjoyer. So that when we become submissive or subservient to the Lord, that bhava is what He wants to see. That is called bhakti. So yes, in short, you can become devotee if you smell the flowers offered at Krishna's lotus feet and the prasadam. That's why in the arati, that flower is shown to everybody. It's prasadam flower. Krishna Smaranam Prabhu from USA. Ekalavya worshipped Dronacharya and became better than Arjuna. What happens one worship a non-qualified guru? First of all, qualification is not just the art, but also the character. So Ekalavya's qualification was not good. He was a liar. He was not honest in his. So when Dronacharya rejected him, he still accepted Dronacharya as his guru. So that's not proper. So there itself Dronacharya could understand that this Ekalavya is not of a good character. He's not submissive. So that's why he asked to cut his thumb off. So what happens when one worship a non-qualified guru? We have already seen 6, 7, 14. They will take everybody to hell and the followers go with them. The stone boat. That's why we should not worship anybody else. Ye sambhutim upasate. That is there in the Īśopaniṣad. Later we will read in the 9, 10, 11, 12. Īśopaniṣad 12, I think. Andham tamah pravishanti ye sambhutim upasate tato bhuya ivate tamo ya usambhutyamratah. Those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more so do the worshippers of the impersonal absolute. Now, the demigods, what is the word for the demigods? Asambhutim is demigods. Actually, what is the meaning of asambhutim? He actually explains. You see, the Sanskrit word asambhuti refers to those who have no independent existence. Sambhuti is the absolute personality of Godhead, who is the absolutely independent of everything. So, ye asambhutim upasate. That means if we worship, why it is translated as demigods? Because they are dependent. But you can take that definition to all kinds of dependent people. So, a person who is a non-qualified guru, he is not independent, just like Hari. A person who is a qualified guru, he is independent of the modes of material nature. He is independent of this control of material nature. So, he is as independent as the Supreme Lord. That is also confirmed in the Shastras, many places. So that's why Sakshad Dharitvena, he is as independent as the Lord. But if we worship non-qualified gurus, they are not sambhuti, they are asambhuti. They are no independent. They are under the control of the Maya. They are under the control of the material existence. So therefore, by what happens to them? Those who are engaged in the worship of demigods, that asambhuti. So anyone who is dependent on this modes of material nature, enter into the darkest region of ignorance. That's why in the purport of this, finally, it is said here, this whole thing, by a false, what is that? Here, the pseudo-religionists have neither knowledge nor detachment from material affairs. That means, you see, they are not detached. They are not independent of this material. They are dependent on the material life. They are detached. They are attached to the material life. So the pseudo-religionists have neither knowledge nor detachment from material affairs. For most of them, want to live in the golden shackles of material bondage under the shadow of philanthropic activities disguised as religious principles. By a false display of religious sentiments, they present a show of devotional service while indulging in all sorts of immoral activities. In this way, they pass as spiritual masters and devotees of God. Such violators of religious principles have no respect for the authoritative acharyas, the holy teachers in the strict disciplic succession. They ignore the Vedic injunction acharya upasana, one must worship the acharya, and Krishna's statement in the Bhagavad Gita, evam parampara praptam, this supreme science of God is received through the disciplic succession. Instead, to mislead the people in general, they themselves become so-called acharyas, but they do not even follow the principles of acharyas. These rogues are the most dangerous elements in human society because there is no religious government. They escape punishment by the law of the state. They cannot, however, escape the law of the Supreme, who has clearly declared in the Bhagavad Gita that envious demons in the garb of religious propagandists shall be thrown into the darkest regions of hell. Śrī Īśopaniṣad confirms that these pseudo-religionists are heading toward the most obnoxious place in the universe after the completion of their spiritual master business, which they conduct simply for sense gratification. And the followers go with them. See, so therefore we cannot worship Asambhuti. We have to worship Sambhuti, the personality of Godhead Krishna and his pure devotee who is as independent as the Supreme Lord. That is explained. If you don't believe that the Supreme Lord, the spiritual master is as independent, let's go to this quickly. Madhya 10. We have seen this, but we will go and see it again. 136, I think. 137. प्रभु को है ईश्वर होय परम स्वतंत्र ईश्वरेर कृपा नाहि वेद परतंत्र. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said both the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, and my spiritual master Ishwar Puri are completely independent. Therefore, neither the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead nor that of the Ishwar Puri is subject to any Vedic rules and regulations. Again, so Ajanya Mataji, I am asking from the information from this, is it means only a promotion to man's body will happen? No, everybody, woman or man, can all go to Krishna. Krishna has already said that in the 9th chapter, 32nd verse. To continue devotional service. No, as I said, women also can do devotional service. Nothing is stopping them. They can engage in devotional service, they can attain Krishna also. Who said women can't go to Krishna? That we did not say. Krishna also did not say. Ayappa Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, if karmis are sinners, why they seems to be enjoying everything when all would come to an end? Don't be fooled, they are not enjoying. Where they are enjoying? Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha. We cannot be fooled. Nobody is enjoying. Nobody is enjoying. In this material world, nobody can enjoy. As a devotee, we have to be convinced of this. If we think they are enjoying, means I am not convinced that actually they are suffering. The suffering they accept as enjoyment. Their so-called enjoyment is actually suffering, but they think that is enjoyment. You see. Therefore, they seem to be enjoying, but actually they are suffering. They are foolish. गृहेषु कूट धर्मेषु दुःख तंत्रे स्वतंत्रितः कुर्वन् दुःख प्रतीकारं सुखवन् मन्यते गृही. Manyate. The attached householder, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 30, Text 9. The attached householder remains in his family life, which is full of diplomacy and politics, always spreading miseries and controlled by acts of sense gratification. He acts just to counteract the reactions of all his miseries, and if he can successfully counteract such miseries, he thinks that he is happy. His life is rotten, but he is thinking this is happy. So, even one is in family life, one should not expect happiness from that family life itself. No, there is not happiness. If everybody is engaged in Krishna conscious activity, in devotional service, the whole family, then yes. Again, oh, now my family all are devotees, now I will be in a happy family. That is again another Maya. The happiness is in devotional service. So, as a matter of duty, okay, one has a family, fine, okay. Then engage them in Krishna's service. If they don't want to be engaged, if they are against it and all that, then you engage yourself. That's it. What can you do? And that will become probably an impetus for renunciation in the future. So, like Prabhupada, his wife was not cooperative. Then that became springboard for him to take sannyas, and he went to America. And then we are all sitting here discussing Bhagavatam because of the non-cooperation from Prabhupada's wife. So. This all, so if we are in Krishna consciousness, then such seeming discomfort or some family members not joining, or this becomes actually a better reason for becoming even stronger. So whether family members are devotees or not devotees, if I am devotee, if I follow the principles, my family condition will not affect me. Either way, I will be encouraged in devotional service. The thing is whether I am serious about it or not. If I give excuse, oh, my family is not devotee, so I can't be devotee, or my family is not cooperating, so I can't be devotee, that means I am not serious in the first place. Prahlad Maharaj, he should have complained, right? Oh, my father is, I can't, what can I do? He will punish me if I don't, if I chant Narayan's name. So let me just keep quiet. I will not chant Narayan's name. Okay, I'll chant Om Hiranyaya Namaha, Om Hiranyaya Namaha. No, he never said that. Even when father directly asked him, every demigod is fearing his father. When the father directly asked him, who is God? Immediately he said, Narayana. He tried to kill him in so many ways, still he never budged from the truth. So if we are fixed in our devotional service, if we are fixed in our determination, then whatever may be the circumstance around us, it will only strengthen us. Whether favorable or unfavorable, it actually both will become favorable only for a devotee. But if you are not strong enough to have the determination, therefore we have to associate with devotees. Thankfully, today we can associate even with online, although physically we can't go, we can associate online. So take advantage and read Prabhupada's books and you'll become strong. Alright, next question. Raviranjan Prabhu, how to make our son Krishna conscious, Prabhu? It seems a bit challenging, please help. So if he has good company of devotees, then he can become devotee. That's why we always beg the parents. When they are small, please make them devotee. Don't wait for them. That time they will say, no, Prabhu, I cannot force, let them, So then when they become big, they cannot control. But anyway, whatever has happened. That's why if you can do it from the young age, that is good. But then even if, if the son, is a little bit grown up, teenage, is rebellious or whatever, the thing is, at that age, they don't really listen to the parents. They listen to friends. So it depends very much on the circle of friends that they have. So we send them to school and then give them the classmates, the association of all the materialists. How can we expect them to be, encouraged spiritually? So therefore, there has to be devotee friends. They have to have devotee friends. If they make close friendship with devotees, then eventually they will get all the qualities of devotees. That's why at that age especially, they listen to friends more than the family. So they have to have devotee friends. So if they can find similar age, devotees in the temple, that will actually propel them more towards Krishna consciousness. And again, if that is not physically possible, at least start with online. If the endeavor starts, then Krishna will open more and more doors. As it is said, if you take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take 9 steps towards you. And his 9 steps, how big they are. With 2 steps, he conquered the entire universe. That much he will come to you. Tad ejati, tan naijati. So he walks 9 steps towards you with his steps. And we are taking our baby steps. So we have to take our steps, but he waits for our step. He waits. He can take 9 steps, 100 steps, but he wants to wait for our step. Whether we are first of all interested or not in him, then he will come forward. So we have to show some interest. So if we can associate with devotees, if your son can associate with devotees, we have so many devotees of different age groups, young, old, all age groups, everybody in between. So if we can connect with devotees and be inspired by them, even online for the time being, that will encourage him more and more. And that thing, of course, it has to come from him also. He has to be interested first of all. So he has to have the questioning about life, about what is going to happen with my life, what is my life, actually who am I, where did I come from. These things have to happen in the mind. So if he is exposed to the right, the Bhagavad Gita, the devotees, Sangha, then these things, these questions, will start to come up in his mind and he will get answers, and that's how he will become more and more inspired. Alright, he is 7 years old now. He is only 7 years old. No, then that's not difficult. He's not in his teens, he's not rebellious as yet. So, so now is the best time actually. Get him in circle with devotees, and show him videos of devotees, even if we can't physically associate, show him all these things about, Krishna, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movies are there, or, our devotees' videos are there. Sometimes we have vlogs, how we did our preaching. That's why we are actually doing these vlogs. We have our YouTube channel, because we understand that many devotees are out there by themselves and they don't have the advantage of association with the temple devotees. And now with COVID-19 period, everybody is, out of this association. So video format is a good way that we can use technology in Krishna's service, and that's why we are making all these videos on our YouTube channels or whatever, is because of this, so that others will be inspired just by watching them. So in that way we can associate together, even though we can't really physically associate. So, make use of all these things and, get him more and more, instead of, watching some useless cartoons or something, watch Krishna cartoon, or, Krishna's videos or devotees videos, or, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movie, or like this. There are so many. Of course, modern movies, please don't show them. Even modern Ramayana Mahabharata is like bogus, but the old Ramayana Mahabharata is a bit, can be shown at least to children. They can be, they can learn something. So if you have the recording, I think they are on YouTube as well now. So if they can understand, that's well and good. So, and get them to read Prabhupada's books slowly. Krishna book, there is a children version of the Krishna books. Get them to read. Books is where they have to get attached to the books. Don't be too much into video also, because they will lose that reading habit. So they have to read Krishna's books, the Krishna stories and all these things. Get them to read and get them to. So once they get into the reading habit, then all these things will make them devotee. First of all, don't worry about your son becoming a devotee without first of all worrying about you becoming a devotee. Children imitate the parents. Many times, people ask us, when we are distributing books and say, do you have Bhagavad Gita classes for children? I said, we have Bhagavad Gita classes for children and adults. Yeah, I want to enroll my child. But you know what? I always tell them, but you know what? We will teach the child not to eat meat, and we have to eat only prasadam. And when he goes home, you're not going to cook prasadam for him. You don't know what are the rules, and he learns the rules, and you don't know the rules. And when he tells you, hey, you are just a small boy, what you know, I know Bhagavad Gita. So there will be a disconnect. So you also have to come. You have to show example. As a parent, the parents have to lead the children. So children usually work by imitation. They imitate their parents. Whatever the parents do, they will also imitate. So if the parents are chanting, they will also chant. If the parents are reading, they will also read. So we have to show first of all example, and then they will also follow. We just can't be thinking that I want to make him a devotee, but I don't want to be such a serious devotee. That doesn't work. And when he actually becomes too serious, like he wants to, there's no such thing as too serious, but if he wants to become a brahmachari and become full time, no, you cannot do that, because I am not serious. Real serious father means, yes, this is good, you become brahmachari. That means real parents. My mother, I'm not boasting, but my mother, by Krishna's mercy, said, you become brahmachari. Not only you, your two brothers also should become brahmachari. And one of them actually became brahmachari. So, this is how parents should be. Parents should encourage the children to become brahmachari. And, become devotee, full on devotee. Why become engineer, doctor? Why? If they have already become, okay, fine, let them do something. But if they are young, you should train them to become brahmachari and become a full on preacher of Bhagavad Dharma. That is what the world really needs, not anything else. Doctor, engineer, lawyer, and there are so many people who have studied engineering and sweeping roads, because there's so much unemployment going on. Why do you want to put your son into that? Here, there is so much demand, no supply. There is so much supply of engineers, no demand. So, come here, there is so much vacancy. We can join here. Of course, there will be no salary. But he will have the blessings of the goddess of fortune. When Sudama came and served Krishna, Rukmini was fanning him. Don't worry about money. Money is not everything. If you think money is everything, then we have not understood. Krishna's service is everything. So we have to be ready for that. Alright, next question. Vishnu Teja Prabhu was the Muslim man in Narasimha Puran reborn as a devotee if he couldn't go back to Vaikuntha. It is said that he went back to Vaikuntha. When he said Haram, 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 he went back to Vaikuntha. That is the power of the Lord's name, Somehow he chanted offenselessly and he went back. Somehow. If you ask me the details, how I don't know. I just heard this shloka, that's it. Ajanya Mataji, if sex will suppress intelligence to understand Krishna, is it good to compel the less intelligent woman to do it? The little intelligent may be lost, isn't it? So the point is, she's asking if sex will suppress the intelligence to understand Krishna, is it good to compel the less intelligent woman to do it? The little intelligence that is there also will be lost, isn't it? So that's not the way you should see it. A woman's nature is she has to care for the future population, and the children are the future. They are going to be the citizens of the world, and the mother's duty is to train them as great devotees of Krishna. So it is the mother's duty is to preach actually to the children, to make them devotees. That is real mother's duty. It's not about just the sex, There is so much more responsibility to it. So if dharma viruddha kamosmi, sex life outside of religious principles, that is sinful. But aviruddha, within marriage, for procreation, for good population, that is very much a service to Krishna, a good service to Krishna, to bring forth very qualified population. We need such qualified people. So every mother should think that I have to make these souls who have Krishna has given me, I have to make them good devotees. So I have to preach to them. A mother must become a preacher for her children. That is real mother. That is real mother. So just don't think in terms of sex. It's about so much more. They are grooming the future of the world, the mothers. So the mother has to, make the child a devotee. All that should be the thinking of the mother. Otherwise, Shastra says, don't become a mother. What the Shastra says? 5.5.18. It's a very responsible job. Mother job is very responsible job. Nowadays with the modern Western thinking, they think housewife means, not qualified. Oh, you're a housewife. You failed your exam, is it? Your engineering exam you failed, is it? Oh, okay. That's the definition of housewife today. Housewife, how great job it is. You think it is easy job. Not just taking care of the house and cleaning. Mainly, first of all, she has to, more than the cleaning and taking care and cooking and all that, she has to make the children devotees. That is real mother job. It's a full-time job, So it's not something to despise. No, it is a great responsible job. Gurur na sasyad, svajano na sasyad, pita na sasyad, janani na sasyad, daivam na tatsyan, napatischa sasyan, namocha yadya samupeta mrityum. One who cannot deliver his dependents from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master, father, husband, mother, or a worshipable demigod. So that is how we should see it. Okay, don't think that by intelligence will be. By sex, by intelligence will be lost. So therefore, woman should refrain from sex. No, it doesn't. That's why there is no brahmacharya for woman at all, because she cannot handle it. Her natural position is to become a mother. That is her, and there she will find a lot of comfort when she becomes a mother. She will find a lot of pleasure there. If you artificially, try to imitate the man and become a celibate, we have seen many of such women. Honestly, they just can't handle it. Even men can't handle it if they are not trained properly. They can't handle it. Celibacy. If they are not trained, they'll always be thinking, "Oh, I miss having a woman in my life." That's how they think. And psychologically, especially for women psychology, they should have relationship and children. That's when they will become mature. Until that, they will always remain immature and they will behave in very erratic ways. I don't want to point anything, but I have seen so much behavior. So psychology, this is a different psychology. We just have to understand that Krishna is created that way. So it is not something bad or good. It is that way. So we should just give facility for women and men so that everybody advances in Krishna consciousness. So if Krishna thought that being celibate is good for women, he would have done it, but he did not. Why? He said woman must be always in the family and protected by the father, husband and son. That means she has to have a husband, she has to be married. That is her position as a woman. She has to do that. If Krishna knew that woman can, be without, then he should have said brahmacharya, sannyasi, all this for women also, but he did not. So it is just, the body is like that. So just accept it. And also accept it that you're not the body. And as long as you're trapped in the body, just accept the rules that are meant for the body. Because we're not on the platform of the soul yet. We have not understood, realized really that we are spirit souls. Yes, we're all equal as spirit souls. As spirit souls, yes, we're all equal. But with the body, we have different gunas. So we have to work according to the injunctions of Krishna, how to, even while remaining in those gunas, try to slowly elevate ourselves. So that's the point. Alright, next question. Ajanya, is it good to marry only once for a woman? Is it? For a divorced woman, is it necessary to follow Strī Dharma? What is good way of devotional service to a widow or divorced woman? Well, this is a very difficult subject, especially in Kali Yuga. Speaking in Vedic way, there is no divorce. At the same time, sometimes the relationship becomes abusive and divorce happens. And abusive in the sense not just from the man's side. In fact, Prabhupada said in one of the purports, most, not all, most of the divorces are because of womanly behavior. And out of all the divorce cases I have seen so far in my life, one was from the man's side, 1 or 2. The problem was from the man's side. And the rest, 20 plus or 30, all from the woman's side problem. So I'm not saying that women are the problem, but this is generally the fact that Prabhupada himself said this in one of the purports. Usually it's due to the womanly behavior. So if the woman is trained to be submissive from very young, and if the man is properly trained, then the combination is perfect. Sometimes it so happens that a woman, by her submissive service to the man, even if the man is completely a jerk, it's like completely uncontrolled, like she brings him under control and makes him by her service, she changes him. Prabhupada's sister was like that. She was married to a man who was a meat eater, drunkard, and he wouldn't come home for months. Don't know where he went and where he, and she just put up with that, and then and whenever he comes slowly, she made him a devotee, and in the end he became a devotee, and he said, my life completely changed because of my wife. So that is also a case, or she can just run away from that. Sometimes, many times I've seen man also, he also the shares, he has to tolerate a bad wife. He's a devotee, but then his wife just doesn't cooperate with him at all. I've seen so many of that as well. Both sides. Woman is a devotee, man is not a devotee. Man is a devotee, woman is not a devotee. These things happen. So sometimes out of our karma, whatever we have done in the past, because of that we come into a relationship like that. Man, if divorce actually happens, and if it happened before Krishna consciousness, and for whatever reason it happened, the best thing is for the woman not to marry and remain. That's the best thing. But then I have seen also that divorce happened, and then that relationship was gone, but they married devotee later on, and then it went well. So these things also happen. But changing partners is another nonsense. So if something happened by accident, something happened out of abuse or something like that, and if now the person has come to Krishna consciousness, and now if he acts a devotee husband, that's a different thing. But then being a devotee and then switching partners, and this is completely off. Again, divorce completely is not even in the Shastra. But these are some of the adjustments that even Prabhupada, when he saw, he knew that some of the women who came to him were already either married or had sex with 20 men or 50 men in their lives, I don't know how many, and the men also had sex with so many women in their lives. Western world. But still, now that they have come to devotional service, find a partner, get yourselves married and move on. So he encouraged the marriage. So they might have been divorced or in so many relationships before. It's as good as a divorce basically. And Now at least you correct it and just fix with one man. That's all right. But if after coming devotee, like actually it happened. So after he made them devotees and then got them married, and then after some time, some of them like switched partners. This devotee's wife became that devotee's wife now, and then that devotee's wife became this devotee. What is that? Because they're still with their Western mentality. So that he totally condemned. He said, "What is this nonsense? Complete nonsense. What are you doing?" He scolded them so much actually that time. So those things happen sometimes. So that is condemned. But until then, whatever mistake we have done, Prabhupada excused. So on those grounds, yeah, we can say that whatever happened before, it's that. But now at least remain with one husband and go ahead. That's it. But if you somehow detach from even that husband, then no way. There's no remarriage, nothing. Just be single and then under the protection of the devotees somehow carry on with the devotional service. There's no such thing as so many marriages for women. All right. I think that's the end, and we are so late today. Thank you all very much, and thank you all for putting up with me. Śrī Īśopaniṣad ki Jaya, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Jaya, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jaya, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Actually, if you remember, we finished the class at 9:30 something, almost 9:40 maybe. But the questions, so Krishna. All right, Hare Krishna.